What's up, guys? What is up? Let's get started, right? Again, today's gonna be I don't know why I said again, but today's gonna be a chill stream. Um, I just wanted to, if you watched not last night's stream, okay, Saturday's live stream, I was reacting to some videos in the beginning, of the Lapeef network, right? And I wanted to check out the whole live stream of it. Okay, so I think that would be fun. I think that would be interesting. And if you caught like yesterday's live stream, it got cut off because all my power got shut off, which is crazy. I don't know why. It turned back on a few seconds later, but that was annoying. Yeah, it was really annoying. So it is what it is. But let's get started. Let's get started with checking out the Lapeef Network whole live stream. It's a 3 hour live stream, so we'll be skipping through it.
Comment no.
All right, let's go ahead and
That was, man.
go ahead, Trev.
All right.
Laughing man. What is up, my brother? What is up? Thank you for stopping by today. You're always here. You're always here. I love you. I love you. How's your weekend going? Hope your weekend is going well. I'm just chilling, right? I ain't doing much. I'm just checking out a live stream. So yeah, today's gonna be a chill stream. Nothing in particular.
Here's what we have to understand first of all. First things first, right? The people, I'm really sick of everyone trying to make the black man the boogeyman. It's so crazy out here. When you look at it holistically, when you understand the statistics, you understand a black man acquiesce to more bullshit than any other race as far as relationships are concerned. We're the most willing to deal with a single mother more than any other race, right? And we are, as a race, we are riddled with single mothers, unfortunately. We spend more time with children overall as a race, as far as black men are concerned, statistically, facts. We are more likely to help with household chores than any other race. All of these things that that the women are asking for. Secondly, the amount of concessions that these women will have to make in order to date outside of their race, because we're not saying they won't get them, but let's be honest, we know what the statistics are, right? More left swipes than anyone else. So it would be a lot easier to obtain a black man, because the amount of work that you're going to have to do to get into another race, you would actually be more suitable to be with the black man. If you are more attracted to another race, fine, say that. But don't say that because you just can't make a connection with one. That shit sounds stupid to me, because you're not going to do better because a person is white or just a non-black or Latino, whatever. You're going to probably do better because you're going to behave differently. They don't even have the same type of behaviors. Black men are guilty of it too. When we get outside of it, we know that black men honestly will give a white girl like 3-4 more points just because she's white. Sometimes we know that, but black women do the same damn thing. When they are trying to get with another race, they kind of worship that race. I've noticed that people who date outside their race just do that overall. They really have a form of self-hatred is what I see it as. So, and I'm not saying that this isn't like people shouldn't interracially date, but what I'm saying is you don't have to.
I don't know if I would say self-hatred. I wouldn't say self-hatred when people date other races. I think that here's the thing where Evil Eddie, what is up, my brother? This is a thing I see it as, we all know that, let's say if you want to date this woman, right? You have to, let's say if you're a very loud person, you have to fix that. If you need to make money to get her, you gotta fix that. So if you cater or you do certain things to improve or whatever, it's not that you hate yourself. That's why you're improving or you're changing shit up. So I find that really ridiculous.
Bash the race while doing that, or you don't have to say that black men aren't good enough or it's unlikely for me to find a connection with the black man. If you want to say, look, I'm gonna try to open up all of my options just so I have the most likelihood of having an outcome because I have a larger sample size, a larger dating pool to pull from, I can understand that. But to try to say that black men are inefficient, so I'm going to date somewhere else, sounds crazy to me.
Can I comment? I think it's interesting. I think what she said was very fair, right? And I think that she communicated it in a way where
I said this when I was reacting to the clips. This man is a panderer, and this man will be a panderer as well, right? So we'll definitely see that.
So that she doesn't ruffle too many feathers. She said that she ultimately would love and always thought she would be with a black man. However, and yeah, she said that like she can't connect with nobody like she connects with black men, but she's realizing as she gets older and as she learns more and probably experiences more, is that she might need to open up her options. Right now, I think that a lot of times we as men don't really listen, right? Because I was just interested in listening to her perspective, see what she thinks, and it's like it's not like she's saying that every black man is like the same way. Right? I didn't take that personal. She can be the guy that's, I think that I think that there's a lot of men that she may not have experienced who may be able to, be the type of person that she's looking for. However,
Red Door, what is up, my sister? What is up?
what she said was nothing disrespectful. It was nothing that I would take like, like she was trying to take a dig at black men or nothing like that. So, yeah.
You know what I find?
I was just.
go ahead.
Nope, true. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Jay.
I kind of see a little bit of. I agree with a little bit of both of you. However, I do think that when Mont says, she's not bashing. She was making a point that it's like, damn, I can't get success here, so let me be open to other options. But I feel like it's no different than and I'm using Trev just because I know Trev usually, or even, Willie, like women are this way, black women are this way. So this is the reason why, other black men date outside their race. What is the difference? What is the difference where you get tired, conversations like women ain't shit, you get so tired of it. There's no difference. And almost like what she's saying, it's just that she was saying in a way.
The difference is the success rate, right? In my opinion, right? The difference is the success rate. You're not listening to the black men, okay? What they say that, okay, you're this, you're, like you said, women are this, women are that. You're not listening to black men. So you don't want to date black men. You're changed to date the white man. So it's like, and yet that doesn't even, like, that is not even producing the success rate that you want, right? White men aren't marrying women at a high rate.
Where it's like, you know what? I'm not against it going outside. Go ahead, Trev. I know you. I see your wheels rolling. But I'm just saying it's no different. I think that when people get tired of the same result in that same circle, then it's like, all right, let me be open, because I think at some point maybe they weren't open to it. Like I've never dated a white guy at all.
Look, so one thing that I tell humans in general, right? If you don't like the results that you're getting, then you must improve, right? It's not about trying to blame it on everybody else. That's the point that I'm getting at. If what she is saying, whether it's direct or indirectly, is that black men are inefficient, because there's plenty of black men who will date her, right? She has enough of a look, at least at surface level, to be able to acquire black men's attention. If she can't retain it, then something's wrong with you. Or if you think that all black men are deficient, then something's wrong with you. That's the problem that I'm having with it. She is going to garner attention. She looks good enough to be able to get that. What she does with it is on her. That's all I'm saying. If you can't find a person, you keep running into the same issue. At some point, you have to look at yourself. It has to be some type of self-reflection. You have to be able to look and say, you know what? It's got to be something I can improve on. And until you do make the adjustments, you're going to go to the other side. You're still going to fail. It's not about a black or white thing. It's about a self-improvement thing and pinpointing what the hell I'm doing wrong. Why am I getting these poor results?
Trev, I think it's interesting because she never really went into detail about her experience and what she was noticing. And I think that's the experiencing that you think that you can't find a black man. So that's, yeah.
Well, that's all we can do is take the clip at face value. I've listened to you mention that before, like when there's more context involved. So what else are we going to do but take it for face value? We have to make an inference somehow. We can't just, what are we going to do? That's what the entire process is here, is for us to kind of look at what it is we have access to and then come up with some sort of assessment. And this is just what I have. This is my take. You may not like it, but I've understood the assignment. That's what we're supposed to be doing. We're never going to have all the context. So all I can do is give you what I think based on, the large sample size that I have access to, the countless women who I've interviewed, the friends that I have, and everything, all of the problems that I see them have in common, and then tell you what my thesis is. That's all I could really do.
I think the problem is that men don't date men. And then when they hear women say that, they bring their friends and they circle into the conversation and say, hey, I know this dude is a good man. This guy is a good man. And then they make it seem like that is the general population of the men that women are dating. It's just not. Women are given their experience and their sisters' experiences, their grandma's experience, and they just expressing to us to the public that, hey, this pool is not as good as black men are trying to portray it to be. And it's just, we're going to have to start.
This pool that you choose from, right? You just hear what he said, right? I know this black man is good, right? He said that okay, black men aren't dating men. Okay, yeah, but men know what good men are, right? Said, oh, this is why I say they're pandering, because they're going off emotions, not logic. Oh, you said, this pool is not that good. Yeah, okay. Then change your pool. Because here's the thing, the problem with a lot of these pandering men. You choose the pool you swim in. You choose the pool you swim in. All right? If another man say, I know this man is good. I know this man is good. But then women are saying that, no, my pool is like, well, then I literally just fucking said, I know this man is good.
Dealing with that so we could build a different mindset for younger black men, for the new generation. And that's what I believe these conversations is really about. When you hear women say she might have to open up her options, because when she start dating them and the person reveals them.
You know what I have a problem with? Not so what you said, Sharon, but since you were the last to speak, she sounds very similar to a lot of the women in the community who believe they know what black men are. And that's my issue with black women collectively, is the fact that they always speak, just like you said, we don't know the women, they don't know the men. The only thing we have in common is the fact that we share similar hues. There is so many different dynamics of being a black person, especially in America. But for whatever reason, black women think because they're black, they know all black men. And then they take on the approach of life based on her own individual outlook, whatever she's achieved, whatever she's accomplished. She's almost 40 years old and have not been able to acquire a black man in the pool of black men who, like Trev said, will probably love to date her or have an opportunity. So I would be interested, like Ma said, to what is her assessment of the pool of black men. And what's personally irritating is that most black women seem to think they got a monopoly on black men, and they don't even know half the time what the heck we want. Generally speaking, if they were so pronounced at knowing black men, they wouldn't be that single. If they were so pronounced in knowing what black men wanted, they wouldn't be walking around trying to figure this out at 40 years old. So if you come from the community, you're the expert. Wouldn't you be dominating in the realm of romance? And that's not the case.
No.
Go ahead.
The thing is that we got to start paying attention to what they're saying. And
stupid ass. That's what I'm saying. You think that men haven't been paying attention to what women have been saying? Men have been purely paying attention to what women have been saying for decades, if not centuries, if not since the beginning of time. Women, it's like women and pandering men are the only ones that think men are as dumb as they are, right? As dumb as they think they are. Men are not as dumb as you think they are, right? But men do listen to what women say, but also men listen to what women actually do, right? They pay attention to women's actions, not just the words that comes out of a woman's mouth. Men actually know better not to just purely pay attention to the words of a woman, right? It's better to pay attention to her actions.
Really assess it properly. And if we are in a space where we talk about facts over feelings, then we should assess the facts that it is for our women is a bunch of undateable men. And it's been proven that it's like that. Just go by the stats, by how much money we making as a collective in general, not just our own circle of Willie, Trev, and my dad's making millions of dollars every day. That is our circle. That is not the general circle. It was exaggeration, Willie. My bad.
Are you kidding me, right? This general circle, black men overall are making more than black women. So your finances, black men are doing better than black women. Men in general are doing better than women, right? Men in general make more than women. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? It's like, by certain statistics, right? Certain demographics, there are actually more single men than there are single women. Throughout history, more women have had children than men have had children. Right? More men have died being alone and childless than women have died being alone and childless.
That's not the general population of black men that got abundance of these great men that has emotional intelligence, that can communicate, that do not communicate with anger when they are challenged. We gotta
I like that. Himbos? I've never heard of that. Yo, Evil Eddie, I love it.
Understand that majority of the time when we having conversations with the general population of black men, they first reaction is anger, and that they feel like they're above any woman that they have. And once the men that are in, women will have better opportunities to find these black men that Trey True is talking about.
I'm glad that you're on the panel, Sharon. I'm gonna tell you what I've assessed being a part of this community for so long. It is so interesting and comical to me that just based on exchanging words with black women, as a black man, maybe yourself, maybe me, maybe even the men on this panel, they quickly can recognize who's from where or what their assumption is where you're from. And they bracket you based on this interaction, right? Because typically what happens is that when they identify that you're no dummy, when they identify that you actually read, now they're up against their own ego a lot of times, because what they've assessed is that we're dumber and we're slower, that we're inadequate a lot of times. So I don't agree with you that there's not a lot of adequate black men. I think black women have an ego problem, and they believe they are the monopoly of the community. Most cases. See, they're the voice of the community, but we're the leaders. And then we have to be the foot soldiers. So the issue to me is the fact that they still think they are the men collectively, because when you say there's not a lot of adequate ones, what are we talking about? You
No, I kind of get it. I get what you're trying. I get what you did. I get what you did. I just think that I never heard of that. So I thought it was cool.
highlighted income, which they typically do. We're not talking about character. We're not talking about network. We're not talking about these people's ability to arrive in a relationship willing and open. We immediately go to money. And to me, that is one of the biggest distractions in this particular community. Because if we're going to talk about money, we don't collectively do anything together, but we generate trillions of dollars as a collective. It makes no sense. We're contradicting, things. But
the black community doesn't generate trillions of dollars. They spend trillions of dollars, right? So with the black community, it's spending power, right? So for other groups, right, they're spending, they don't have less spending power because most of their money is in investments, is in businesses, is in property, is in investments of like stocks and shit like that. While the black community in general, they spend their money right away, right? So that's why they have a higher buying power than most, because they're spending, they're constantly spending.
I'll pass it.
So that's why it's important, because the network is a part of your character. Most people assess your character by your network. So the same way how you assess your own network, say my network got a bunch of great characters are all very similar for some strange reason. So your income and the people that you're around is a part of your character. We cannot separate those two things. It's just not a reality to separate your income.
It's not the only thing. Jeremiah, how have you been, my brother? It's been a while since I've seen you. I hope you're doing well.
Income and your character and your dating ability, your idea to check to see that a woman might have an ego and you have an ego, but the proper assessment is not to check her ego. You need to meet her ego where it's at and have a conversation with her, because once a woman see that you are at equal footing mentally, all of a sudden that attitude that black man always saying that women have, that shit goes away. I never in my life actually had a problem with a black woman's attitude in my life.
This is the thing where I would say this, right? How many black women have you dated? How many? Unless you've dated, let's say, 1,000, 1,000,000 black women, you know shit. You don't know nothing. And this is the thing where I hate it when a lot of these people, right? They use their own life, their anecdotal experience to have opinions, which is usually stupid opinions, right? It's like this is why you don't talk in general, right? That's why pandering men like this don't talk in general. They want to talk about anecdotal experience. Yeah, I ain't checking no ego. Yep. Living the dream. Good to see you. Living the dream. I love it. I love it.
Life, because I don't think I need to check her for being in the. She could be angered at a situation. You could talk to me. It's safe to scream at me because I can handle it, whatever's going on. But when it's my turn to do the same thing and I'm fighting against the word, I come home screaming, she's going to give me the same kind of respect. So we got to stop acting like our ego just trumps their ego. They are human beings and we got to respect them as well.
I'll pass it.
Okay,
I think that the rules of engagement, in my honest opinion, Sharon, is where I find, an issue. If we're going to function from the premise that we're about the community, black men don't meet each other with aggression. Black men don't meet each other with overwhelming ego, in my opinion. But for some odd reason, we've accepted that the women can just do that. To your point, they can scream and they can overtly showcase certain mannerisms. I disagree. I think that if you really want to carry yourself in the essence of being a woman, you understand where you actually lie in the hierarchy of this exchange. There's no reason why, if we're in a community, I should have to deal with your attitude. Off rip. I didn't earn that. So why, in the rules of engagement from human to human, am I just supposed to override your choice to have an attitude? I disagree with that. Then I laugh.
But that's the problem with the ego, right? It's not earned.
Yeah. Got you. Go ahead. You want to respond? Go ahead, Sharon. Real quickly. Okay.
It matters. I like white, black, Asian, whatever the case may be. So all this is crazy. Not even going to lie. It doesn't matter. A person's going to be a person. I met white men who've been successful and has an ego.
If you don't mind.
Jersey.
Jersey, like, are you raised like predominantly around white people, black people, mix?
She from Irvington.
You from Irvington?
No, I mean the suburbs. Like,
who find it if you are truly from a black community and like have a big black family and stuff like that, you really won't really find the same connection in another race, even if you are tolerant, right? So I think it's reasonable to understand somebody like you. It's just a connection that you cannot find with a different race for those people. But you may be a little bit different. Maybe you're used to, maybe your vibe and your energy is not just, super black culture or something like that. Maybe you got a mix in there.
It is because where I'm from.
How do you feel when you are talking to a black man, like that feeling of comfort, because this person really identifies with you and y'all come from the same place? Like you might be in China, you see a black person, you like, oh, it's a feeling that you get of home, right? Like, so that's all I'm saying.
Go ahead, Shan and Miss Pearl.
How they date. They are not the same at all. And I'm not going to get into that because I don't like that black man versus white man thing, okay? But I will say that I agree with her. My connection is with a black man. And there's something fulfilling about being with a black man that's opinionated. I think that black men are great people, right? Married, right? You've been over backwards doing flips. Everything they ask you to do. And it's something about that marriage that's just is you have a better chance of of this relationship. When you go in a relationship, that the chances of that leading to marriage is probably going to be slim to none. That's just fact. That's just statistics, right? That's what it shows. And I would also say that, and I know that there are reasons why, rightfully so, but that's just the way it is, and it doesn't matter the race. It can be, and so it's just really hard to get them to commit like other black men. And I think there's something else I wanted to say, but I can't think about it, and I'm not gonna hold y'all up trying to think about it. But that's, and I think that's where she's going. She's like, I dated these guys, they're not committing, they're not, and you're like, oh, well, you're not doing this, okay, then you do that, and it's still not, So it's just really hard to get them to say, okay, I'm gonna take the responsibility of you, put a ring on it.
Here's the thing where I think that's the problem, right? Who else is committing to black women, right? In general, in mass. You're talking about committing. Well, who else is committing, right? Who else is committing the long term, right? Who's giving black women the long term commitment? You're not seeing that in the stats like that, right? Predominantly, black women are still marrying black men at a high rate, right? Or they're comparative to other races, right? They are the lowest married. They have the lowest marriage rate, so they're not getting married at all, or barely at all. But they're still with black men. So I when I look at the black community, right? I've said this before. Racism isn't the problem. 100%. That's what I believe. I don't believe racism is a problem. I believe the biggest problem in the black community is lack of good fathers. Lack of good fathers. Right? The single mother rates in the black community is a detriment. Right? It is, in my opinion, probably the biggest detriment to the black community, the single mother rates. Right? The single mother rates in the black community is terrible. It is why they are suffering. I'm sorry, it isn't because of racism. It isn't because of the white man. It isn't because of the Asian man, right? It is because of single mother rates.
Let's move forward.
Shannon, you really believe that like black men who are married typically hang around other black men who are married? Like when I used to do wedding cinematography, I would always get booked by other black couples, their friends that they went to school with and all that. Like it would just be like a revolving door of that network of black. Think like maybe women aren't hanging around groups of marriage-minded people.
Well, I think that, so when you're talking about, and this is what I want to point out too. I know True is talking, and I know I just want to point out when you said, well, men aren't aggressive. I think that if we're going to point out the degenerate black women, we're going to point out the degenerate black men. There's a group of them, a lot of them. All right. So that is not a true assessment. Maybe the people that we're used to being around, but let's not act like black men not fussing at each other and taking it to another level, because that is just not the truth. But when it comes to,
how is that the truth? I mean, like, you got to say something. Why? Well, how is it the truth? Are you talking about black on black crime? I mean, you got, this is a thing where you got to go forward. You got to go all the way.
What you were saying, Munt. Yes, got those friends that just not getting married. They're just not. He's like, you met his girlfriend. She's a wonderful person. You like that, thought that was the one, and nah, she not. He got another one now. Like, so y'all can't act like y'all ain't got that friend in your circle. A couple of those friends in your circle. Let me just say this, and I'm put it out there. If you have 5 daughters, the chances that you can do everything right as the dad and say, look, I need you to do this, this, and this. More than likely, more than half of your daughters are not going to be married if it's going the way it is right now. See, because I know me and my dad is probably has higher standards than I have. For my dad to choose my mate, I'm telling you, you're probably like, I see what you're.
It's really not hard for you guys to get married. You just need to have standards and boundaries, right? That's the only issue.
Tell us.
Like, no, it's literally like if men had to marry you, they would. It's just that's that simple.
So the problem is, the women aren't having their boundaries. It's just that men do not respect their boundaries. They want educated black men, right? They want them to not cheat. The first thing Shan said is that, hey, y'all got to be able to commit. Men, a lot of black men have a problem with committing. It's just what.
Don't date them. It's like I can't. It's like you. This is the stupidity. I'm sorry. This is why pandering men, are idiots. Don't date them. Who's forcing you? Who's forcing you to date the men that don't commit? And like, don't give him your body the first day, the first week, the first month. It's like, don't commit, right? I mean, don't date people that don't commit.
It is. And we got to just be honest. The more boundaries that women are having is more difficult for them to find a suitable mate. And we got to just address that situation so men can start anything else. This is what's happening. This is what women are communicating. Pay attention to that because you want to be with a woman. Stop paying attention to what men are saying that men are doing.
Up and change your overall new approach to dating when we have proof of concept. You didn't keep this standard, sweetie. Most of the time they talking out of their ass, my guy. It's never consistent. If you want a marriage-minded man, find him, but be a marriage-minded woman. That is not the...
Hold there, Trey. Where do most people find their husbands and wives? Where do most people find them at?
School or work?
No. That's where they find them. That's where they find them.
It's not school and work?
It's usually...
Let's see. I want to check that. Okay, number one, online dating. Number two, through friends and mutual acquaintances. Number three, at work. Number four, at school or college. Number five, through family. Number six, through religious organization. Number seven, through hobbies, clubs, and sports and whatever.
It's usually in school and workplaces,
which is a subset of friend groups. Wrote as an association.
It's not. No, because the difference.
That's number 3 and 4.
Is that who's enrolled in college more, men or women?
But this is across all demographics. So that's not a fair point because all those women are still married and most of them are enrolled. So the point is mute.
So it is a fair point because if black women are looking to marry black men and black men are not in school, then where are they going to find them at?
Most women are overly enrolled and represented in college, all demographics, and they have no problem.
Yeah, 60-40 across the board.
They have no problem finding husbands. So that's a poor example. The problem is that women in our community do not want to arrive at being marriage minded. They want to play the games. They want to move around and do things. And then they want to hit a switch and say, all of a sudden, I want to now be a
I remember you said that. That's awesome.
Wife. They're doing the same thing the men are doing. So you're getting the same results. If you want to be a wife, women that want to be married, get married. Women that don't want to be married, play games. So if you're going to be out here, you can't switch it up and chameleonize this thing. They try to hustle black men. That's the issue. And then they want to make it seem like they're talking men like you.
So the women that's in the house, going to school, they focus on their career, they make it to 39, 35, 36, and all these ages like this, and they have no children. They have a great career. Why are those women not married?
Because they're not
married. What
about those? No, you cannot. They're not marriage minded. See, you gave accolades of being an adult, going to school. Cool. That's self-soothing. You staying in the house. Okay, you got to go outside. If you want something, you want to lose weight, you're going to do it in the house or you probably going to go to the gym. Are you going to do something that requires action? You can't just read a book and then a man going to show up at your front door. It don't work that way.
So where are we supposed to meet this man again? This black man?
Where?
Because let me know. Because I was married, done divorced, this whole nine. Tell me where to meet the black man.
Anywhere. Whole Foods. Target.
You were married, divorced, you met that man. You met that man. All right? This is the stupidity of women. You've met that man already. This pander bear just said, 39, 36. You met that man already. You met the man that you probably should have married already. Now you're hoping to meet the next man. Life is not going to be that easy. And again, research from Stanford, like I said, number one, online dating and apps. Number two, through friends and mutual acquaintances. What he said was at work is number 3, and at school or colleges is number 4.
Where'd you meet your first one?
Hotels.
Oh.
What we need to stop doing, in my opinion, and Sean, respectfully, you give me the sentiment that you're soft on the women. You need to tell these heifers they need to act in a manner that they want.
Pause.
You can't sit here and just say I'm black and this is all the things I'm doing. They lie, my guy. I am around and been around couples for years. These women are not emotionally equipped to be wives. Most of them want to get married for the party, but they're not trying to stay married. And that's the trick. It's not getting married. Getting married is easy. Any idiot can do that. You want to stay married.
I just want to say this. It's easy for people to. I just want to say this real quick. It's easy for people to look at the opposite sex and say all the things that they're doing wrong. It's easy. So I agree that women and men are both playing. You know, the game. Yes, women are representing themselves properly. Men, even though if a man wants to marry you, he's going to marry you. It's not hard to marry a man. I think it's hard to have certain rules, boundaries. Hard to understand if somebody's being an imposter. You start to see things over time. And I don't think it's just like a black and white thing at all. I think it's a demographic thing. It's a mindset. I think it's, you can't go to the bar in the hood and expect, I'm not saying that there's, I would still be in the same environment. You're not going to find a man or a woman to come into your lap and your nose is in the books and you're just, all about your accolades. What True was saying, you're all about your accolades. I don't need no man. I'm independent. I can deal with this. I want my peace and all that. Yeah, that's not marriage material because you're so focused on all the things that you bring to the table. So to say that you're not looking at the qualities that it takes that a man will actually want. So, there's a lot of things I was trying to think about.
Men are the ones that's being soft on men and not being soft on women.
Men being soft on men? When have men ever been soft on men? Show me an example of men being soft on men. Men have been extremely hard on men. In society, men are the ones suffering. Men are the one who makes up the poor, the homeless, right? The body bags. Men are extremely hard on men.
You need to be understanding your woman so you can meet her where she's at because you are trying to date her. So we need to be tougher on men.
Why is she trying to date you? Right? Why is she trying to date you?
That also, especially the ones that are claiming that they are going to be the leaders. You don't become a great leader from softness. You get it through challenges. You get it through being understanding the idea that you got to be tough on women when they're supposed to be the soft.
Big bars. What is up, my brother? What is up?
The vessel, how people communicate, they are the weaker vessel is just insane to me. Soft, weaker vessel, the way how y'all communicate it every single day, I'm going to get her into that position. So therefore I can assess if she can deal with me as a man, I could deal with her as a woman. Get her in a position of softness. Take her out of this society where she has to be tough and hard just like you. Most of the time, the women are the ride or die. They say, hey, whatever you doing, I'm doing. So I'm going to take her out the environment. You don't need to be by my side swinging swords. I'm
saying again, to me, I think in this space,
Organic. What is up, my brother? What is up? Hope you had a good weekend.
This one's particularly alike. We try to be even amongst giving the smoke, giving the accountability, male and female alike. My issue for what you're saying again is that it's not challenging the intellect and the spirit of these women that belong in the community. And there is an infancy that belongs in most of the women and sometimes in the men in this community. We have not graduated out the sandbox, most of us, when it comes to how to approach relationships. We play too much a lot of times. But then you want to say you want to be a wife. There is no way that you want to be a wife, sweetie, if you have not developed the discipline and the maturity to approach a lifelong commitment. And it's not all their fault entirely. The men have work to do too. I'm not disagreeing with that, but you keep making it seem like they just arrived perfect because they're women and they're doing everything right. They are not. These women are ass backwards in their ideologies. And
he's a panderer, right? Pandering men don't hold women accountable. They only want to hold men accountable, which is fine. Holding men accountable, I agree. But when you only want to hold men accountable, all your blame is on men, all the shit. This is the thing. This is why I hate the people who, like, let's say, I'm not saying he's doing it, but the people who are against manosphere, red pill, shit like that, we hold men accountable as well, right? When you are a lazy bum, has nothing go for him, no one in the red pill space is saying that, oh, you know what? You deserve a woman. All right, you deserve a woman because you're a bum, because you live in your mother's basement, because you are unexperienced, you have nothing going for you. Who the hell is saying that shit?
The men who are telling them this is how you do this, sweetie, they want to challenge it. It is not where you go only. It is not who you hang around with only. It's who you are, and you cannot fake this part, this connection. You can't hustle it. So they're getting the results that they are internally. That's why it's like I don't even know why this is hard to understand. Grow up.
So the reason why it's difficult to understand because what's your idea of a good woman might be different from mine.
Having a back and forth conversation with 3 other people that haven't said anything yet. So there's that part. And then 2, I haven't interrupted anybody. So when I'm talking, just hush. This is the cool thing about this conversation, right? Is that 1, Jay said that, this is no different than a black man saying that black women ain't shit. Well, actually it is. It's significantly different. And here's the difference. What she said was, I love black men so much and I'm so connected to them. But that butt part is just like someone saying you're cute for a dark-skinned girl. I love you, but you're cute for a big girl. It's the exact same sentiment. And women hate when we do that to them. So again, it's odd to see that, women are willing to accept that in this instance, but they don't accept it when it's somewhat, they're the butt of the joke of that joke. 2, the black man and white man date differently. Black men are not putting up with white men are not putting up with shit from black women because they've already seen in mass how you guys are represented on TV. So when you guys get to them, you have to have your shit together because their standards are significantly higher than that of black men is what they expect and what they demand from their partners. We've seen that just the divorce rates. We've seen that when we talk to white men who date them. Also, 3, it's really difficult for women to say that I do this or I'm not picky when they can't be. That's one of the oddest things that I see in this space is women are like, well, I don't do this, but I, because I just choose to do. No, you don't have a choice. Some women are just overall undesirable, so they get the results that they get because they're undesirable. These women who are talking about they can't find good men, it's because they're not good women. It's the hill I'm willing to die on is that if a woman has a hard time finding a man that's willing to commit to her, she's not worth committing to. And then so what she does then is she goes from nigga to nigga to nigga to dick to dick to dick to friend group to friend group to friend group, trying to date men in there to find somebody who she's good enough for instead of doing the change or what it takes to be good for that person. Black women approach dating like they're applying for a job, but then are going to tell the people interviewing them what they need to ask her. They're going to say, hey, I'll answer these questions. These are the skills that you can expect me to have. And if you don't like it, then I'm not for you. So there's no issue. It's not hard. Like your life is going to be an amalgamation of what you deserve. So if you don't have something in your life you deserve, you don't earn it. You don't deserve it. It's simple. If you were a good woman and you wanted a man, you'd have one. If you wanted to be in shape, you'd be in shape. If you wanted to be smart, you'd be in school. You literally just don't get shit for free. And unfortunately, Sharon, the shit like the rhetoric that you have is going to make a lot of women, placate to it because it sounds good. Like your medicine and your words are all sugar, no medicine. You're telling women they don't have to be accountable for what they do. That men should take them as they are. And then at the same.
This is the thing where I said this. If you lie to women, you're making money, right? That's how it is, right? You lie, women will buy.
Same time, men are also supposed to seek women when we're the ones that control access to marriage. If we were talking about everything you said, Sharon, would be spot on if we were talking about men trying to get pussy. If we were just solely talking about men trying to fuck women, everything you said would make sense. Everything you said would make sense. And then 2, I really don't. I hate when people make the argument about, well, like, for you personally, you shouldn't be talking about black women because you're not married to one. I don't think that's a fair argument. But what I will say is fair is that you shouldn't tell black men who are only dating black women what we should be expecting from them either.
So I think the problem is that men need to understand that they got to be the ones that change their outcomes. They keep focusing on the wrong person in this equation. We as a collective, we got to change the mental shift on how we communicate with the people outside. So if it's good to say that these black women can't find a good black man, that there's something wrong with them, it got to be the same on the other side as well. That all these black men that's out here complaining, say they cannot find no dateable black women. It is something wrong with those men.
Yeah, no one who says that. Who's not saying that? Yes, if a man can't find a good woman, it's something wrong with him. It's 100% true. This is why I've said this before, right? My brothers, get a passport. All right, open your This is the thing where this is what women do. This is the stupidity that women do. Okay. If you purposely make your dating pool small and then complain about a small dating pool, you are the fucking problem. Right? You are the problem. If you have a small dating pool and you complain about, oh, my dating pool sucks, well, bitch, it's your fault. Expand your dating pool. I'll say this to men as well, right? You complain about, oh, all these women are terrible. All these women are feminists. All these women are, they're unmarriable. They're all this shit. Okay. Have you dated women in other places? Have you dated women in other cities, other states, other countries? Have you? If you haven't, then it's your fault. So I will hold men accountable just as well. All right? I don't complain about my dating pool. I literally have thousands of videos. I've never once complained about my dating pool. Right? Because I know that it's my fault, right? If the dating pool sucks or not. Right? I don't complain about it. I make changes. I got my passport. I went around the world. Got my passport. Too old to mess around with women. I just enjoy my time I have left with my bros and my projects. Hey, you know what, bro? Hey, it's not bad. I mean, and this is a thing where I love it, you ready, right? Travel the world. Let's just have fun, right?
Since I'm a man that came from the bottom, -0, -5 point, I'm from Brownsville, New York, where I ain't supposed to have no family. I ain't supposed to make it past 18. I was outside and doing a whole bunch of nonsense. And I could change. I know the difference between that person and who I that. My outcomes change. When it was, and we can't keep ignoring the fact that men need to change the way how they communicate, the way how they think, if they want better outcomes in relationships. That's just one of the outcomes that they're going to have to concede to, and understand that everybody's not lying on us.
If black men wanted better outcomes and they would stop being so fiercely loyal to black women and seeing them as our primary source of connection, as you have, that's why they'd be successful. Because when black men date outside their race, they do tend to get a higher category of women, especially for the desirable men. But what I can't concede to you is this: there is a lot wrong with men who are complaining in general about not being able to find a good woman. But what that thing is, seems to be common amongst all of those men, is that they don't have the traits, nor the status, or any of the other things that the women look for. So to True's point, where he said a lot of women are out here saying what they want, all that is an aspiration. They're not basing what they want and what they're attracted to based off what they deserve, the work they put in, the research they've done to find, say, hey, sir, you're the kind of guy I would like to marry. What do you expect from your wife? They don't ask those questions because they think that all they have is already within them. And the reason why they think that is because of other women telling them that, and men who have the commentary you do. So we're not saying be
exactly, men. This is the thing where it's like we're not even having average women wanting to date and marry average men. You are an average fucking woman. I'm sorry, not every woman out there is going to be a 10. So what's the point of him being a 10 when all he gets is like average ass women, right? All he's getting is 5s. So what's the point? What's the point of men being the best they can be when women are average at best, right? And here's the thing: it's reality that most men won't be above average. Most men will always be average. That is reality. So stop it with that BS. Women, where's your king at? Oh, men, you gotta be kings for these queens. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, plenty of good women out there. I've been with some. I'm not exactly a good man though. I love Evil Eddie. I love it. I love your honesty.
Hard on women, but what we are saying is to hold everybody accountable equally. And I don't see that in your conversation, because there's a lot of things that men are doing that are exceptionally better than black women. For example, black men in general, we don't automatically assume that a woman is going to get with is going to be the master. We like to tell ourselves we're going to be different because our ego is attached to it. So we'll say, hey, you know what? She may have been like that with him, but she'll be like that with me. Oftentimes, these average men are finding out that woman is the exact same way. There's not very much difference from one man to the next. So, and for those men, those are the same ones that you probably hear talking about. There ain't no good women left because, again, they keep going and striking out with women. So it's not fair, or it's not even, it wouldn't even be a fruitful conversation to have, nor a prescription to say that, well, we need to go start asking women what they want when they don't control anything other than what goes in between their legs.
Right. And so, I think that's what we have a disconnect. So it's not that.
Hey, y'all, how y'all thought I was? Oh my goodness. Okay, let me.
She's terrible, right? She's terrible. She writes a lot of shit down, makes very little sense.
She was 39 years old, right? I don't have any problem saying my age and my stage. I'm 41. Like, we're like 2 years off. 30 to me. The point that I'm making is she said she had frustrations with the current generation. Why do you have a frustration with the current generation? You're 39. What was your experiences, like Mont was saying, with the previous gentleman that you all were with? Like Willie always said, like, it doesn't matter how many men she was with. It was the common denominator. That's her. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like that subconscious. Oh, well, my cousin told me when I was a kid I was going to end up with a white man. So now it's that, I guess I'm going to do it now. But you only want the white men now. She didn't say Hispanic men. She didn't say Asian men. It was just white men. So, I'm just trying to pinpoint and hit what she was saying, but what she wasn't saying.
Hold on, Miss Pearl, did she say white men or did she say just outside of her race? Like,
I mean, she was eventually going to end up with the white man. That's like subconscious for me, because she kind of pointed that out. She didn't say specifically anybody else. Those failed relationships. It's not like she's just going to go and get with these white, Asian, Hispanic, whatever the man is, and magically she's going to have this. It's her. I think the current generation is just seeing a lot for. Like I said before, a lot of us just have these relationships. We have sex. You get with the guy. You don't have necessarily real. You were supposed to come out. Hell yeah, you gonna run because ain't nothing there.
Shut the fuck up. And that's probably like the easiest thing for a woman to do in order to attract a man, is to show that she knows how to indeed close her mouth. That's the hardest part. They always have to have something to say. They always want to have a rebuttal. And then two, and you look in these spaces again, bro, when have you ever seen any of these single women in these spaces with these talking points that y'all would want to marry? That you see like, you know what, man, she strikes me as a good wife. She strikes me as someone that I could see raising my kids. She strikes me as someone that I could see being a good
Yeah. I definitely not a crazy fan of it. Yeah, her covering half of her face with her hair. It's just, it's.
Support system for a man. And every time I ask y'all can't name one woman.
Yeah, real quick, Sharon, Trev, if you could just try to articulate to me how she's not qualified to expand her horizons and be open to other races. I mean, oh, you muted, Trev.
I don't know her situation in all honesty, but I think that this is an inherent problem of women in general, whereas they're not willing to earn their way into a new dating pool, right? Women kind of think that their vajayjay is such a strong currency that it could match any income, match any virtue, match anything, right? And and most times they think their presence is a present, and that's not good enough. That's not good enough. They think that their sheer existence. And I watch people. I saw a female influencer the other day that's supposed to be teaching women, usually has good points, and really came out her face and said that her sheer existence is going to help the man. If a man built himself, what the hell does he need you for at that point? You can't build a built man. There's nothing that you can add to it that's going to make it any better. You know what I'm saying? So I think that our main issue is that when, again, we know this. The topic is women tonight, right? So we're talking about them. That's why I'm going specifically on them. We know that there are men who also need to build. I talk to men on a regular basis, like, yo, you don't like your shit that you get into? Get your weight up, bro. This is how you do it. This is what you're going to do to improve. This is how you're going to have access to better. And you know what? When I tell that to men, they say, you're right. You know what?
Dizzy, what is up, my sister? Thank you for just stopping by. Thank you for just stopping by. Get some sleep.
How am I going to do that? Right. And probably when you talk to men, it's usually the same thing. And we can improve our results by building ourselves because we're willing to do it. But women do the opposite. They support each other with the fuckery. They figure out how to go ahead and tell their homegirls that, no, he's wrong. Yeah, you'll get somebody else. Oh, we about to go out tonight. And it's not going to work. Revolving cycle.
Stick with the lady in the video. She doesn't, to me, I haven't seen anything yet to be like, yo, she tripping, she out of her depth. Like, you know, I haven't seen that yet. She's decent looking. She's decent looking enough. So outside of that, I wouldn't, say that she's not qualified to be in a dating pool. Because I'm personally I'm just talking about her.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. That I think that remember, I agree with that in the beginning. I said that she looks good enough. That's a fact. That I said she looks good enough to be able to get it. So if she is still not finding a man, and she looks good enough, then apparently something is inherently wrong with homegirl. Right? Unless you want to concede to the fact that men are shit. If you want to say men are shit, then say that, right? But it has to be one or the other. Either men are shit or she don't know what the fuck she doing. One or the other is true. So which one would you say you agree with?
To Sharon's point.
No, hold on. Let him answer that real quick. Mark, answer that. Which one is it? Does she not know what the fuck she's doing, or men are shit? Which one is your point?
I think it's very possible that men and women who have issues dating, it's not the dating pool. It's very possible that it's them a lot of times, right? I believe that. However, in a specific situation, I just don't think that I don't think it's reasonable to say that yet. That's all.
What? That was double talk. You just said what?
Yeah. But here, I can tell you why she disqualified this, because you can't get out of this one. Sharon said again that who your environment says a lot about you. Look at the show she's on. She's on a show with a known panderer, and she's on a show with a woman who also, again, has those same talking points about black men. So, again, birds of I can't get a nigga feather flock together. And then they got, the beige round and mound. He's in there pandering, trying to agree with everybody because he's the host that wants to fuck his guests. So you can't take shit he's saying serious no way.
Well, that's not fair. The show thing.
I think the issue is that a lot of our brothers, we're not just dealing in reality. Women going to talk a lot. That's just a natural thing. I think if you are going to do all these things to get a woman and expect her to just be quiet in the house is just ridiculous. Especially if you're dealing with an intelligent woman. Y'all going to have communication. You're probably going to talk more than anything. I think another issue is what Ms. Pearl is saying. When women do what Ms. Pearl is saying, when they have this.
Great. Why do you think successful black men date outside their race? You said it's unrealistic. Okay, it's unrealistic for black women. Not unrealistic for other women.
Standards, and they focus on themselves when they can't find a other significant other. They tend to go into the 39 upper ages, get their career, get their money, get their own house in these situations. They wind up being single because they hold a standard. Also, I think people, I've been married for 15 years. And so I think people actually grow better together than trying to do it separate. If you do it separate, you try to be 100% the best human being you're going to be 39, 40 and single because you just focus on yourself way too much. I don't think there's anything wrong. So for me, I had an idea where I wanted to go and I was working towards that thing. So therefore I built trust with my marriage by hitting the things that people are just shacking up into. They just in a long distance relationship. They just with each other. They hang out long enough till they start having sex, and then they have sex long enough till they have a child.
Great. I mean, his opinions might be good for, I don't know, the 20-year-old, right? The 20-year-old, the 21-year-old, the 22-year-old that will be in a long-term commitment. Probably not good for people that are older and still in the dating market.
And then they have a child and they got to get an apartment. So if men start focusing on what they actually want their situation to be, they will go ahead and.
Well, you carry problem solved. What's this MC? 499. Why are we making it seem like it's more likely to see an alien?
Now you're asking for too much.
That may have never been married before, and I'm older.
Yeah.
So we down under the floor by the time we actually vet through every and this is not, again, I'm not talking about women that are super stringent and have all these high, like over the top standards. No, just basic things, right?
Yeah, sometimes it's not high over the top. The bar just being held.
That's what I'm saying. So we're doing this off just basic fundamental things that we would like. A man who's into his career. And that would go for a man.
I reacted to this video. So, I mean, if you, while back, right? Months back.
So that's part of it. It's a numbers game. You all have more choices. It just is what it is.
I think now we got something to work with. now. It's not that we have more choices.
I think she just barred everything down just now, man. She barred them.
I think it's not that we have more choices. It's that we require less, right? So when she's talking about like a man who's never been married before, and it's like, yo, you're 40. Why do you care about something like that? Like if I was 23, it's like, yo, I want to be your first wife. I mean, I want to be your first husband. You my first wife, right? Like. She just kept adding a ton of things, which is fine if that's her preference. But she, at that point, it's like, understand that if you want all of these things, it may be hard for you to find somebody, right? As a man, I know me personally, right? Like, I don't require that much. I just want you to love me. I want you to, like very simple things, like work with me, stuff like that. But if you have all of these things that are, she didn't even talk about character and stuff yet, right? She's talking about all of these exterior things that she wants, right? So at that point, it's like you'll end wherever you end up. May be based on you. Well, regardless, it should be based on you anyway, but yeah.
So, Ma, she did talk about character. She said having faith, the same faith level as me or higher. That is a part of your character. Your faith is a part of your character.
That's not character.
We already discussed that your net worth, how much money you making is a part of your character. So those are things, if you go part of your character, people want to try to act like money is not a part of your character, but it is. It is the way it absolutely is.
You can have money and have a shitty ass character. I don't. How is that character?
Okay. But still, you people that have shitty character, they use money in a shitty way. So your money is a part of your character. No matter how we try to slice it, the way how you use your money is going to be a part of your character. If you're a shitty person and you wind up getting a lot of money, you still going to be a shitty person with money.
So that has nothing to do with the money. It has nothing to do with the money part. It's just the character. What a fucking idiot.
You still have a certain kind of character. And we understand this is why we have a misunderstanding of money in the first place. Most people that never experience high earners, they believe that people that have high earners, they are negative. They think that they are going to do something negative with money. They're going to have a bad attitude. But in reality, once you start getting to that upper echelon of money, it's the opposite.
How do you know?
They don't have this bad character issue. They usually are more understanding what's going on around, focus on articulation. So when you realize money is not a bad character flaw at all, it's a tool that you use. And it's a part of your character because guess what? If you go to a millionaire's house, you're not looking at him like, oh, trust me, it's a part of your character. No, and it's not a negative thing. In most of the
hold on, gotta get Bo in there.
Bo is next.
Bo, please, let's hear.
Your character, nigga. Do you understand that people spend their money, they donate to charities, they do all of these great things, and then they'll turn around and fuck people over personally? You can do great things with your money and still be a shitty person with zero integrity because it's a lot of people with a lot of money that got that shit underhandedly, illegally. They do a lot of fuck shit with that to get that money. Money means nothing. Doing shit with your money means nothing because the carrot stick sitting in the Oval Office right now donated to a lot of charities. You know why that is? Tax breaks, tax write-offs. It means fuck all when you do shit with your money that's good. It is how you treat the people that are around you. It is how you view life. It is how you react to things. It is how you curate your whole life. That is character. See, that is why women have a problem with picking quality men, because y'all men think that y'all money means something. I don't give a fuck about your money. If you yourself are a piece of shit, I don't care what you do with your money. If you yourself are a piece of shit, your money means nothing. Remove money from a man and you'll see exactly who the fuck he is. Give him money. You'll see exactly who he is, because you'll see what the fuck he does. You'll see how he actually thinks when he has that money. You see what type of man and outlook he has on life when he has nothing. And you see how he'll treat people when he has money. So the money being absent and present tells you a lot about that man. But that money, what he do with it don't mean a fuck thing. I was melting. But that's bullshit.
Go ahead, Shannon, Willie.
And I would say that I think it's how you get your money, right? Who you are.
Money is a part of your character. Is the
I think that you have a certain character that to obtain that to get that money. Like maybe it's, you're very ambitious. You're very like straight to it. Like it comes with a character, like a quality or it's a certain man who can get that, right? So maybe when we think about like, oh, is he? I don't know.
Okay, so money. What does money tell you about a man? At least tell me the bare minimum that money tells you. If I said I had a blind date, he makes over $1 million a year. What did that tell you right there?
Well, there are certain traits that come along with a man with money, right? Probably you're disagreeable. You are ambitious. You are driven. You probably single-minded. I mean, like it's just maybe more likely you work hard. You're cutthroat in a way, right?
Well, no, it just tells me.
Yeah. So
it doesn't tell me he's attractive, because that's what I find most of them are not attractive, which is a reason.
But he's a hustler.
Right.
Oh,
so I can tell you what.
I say that if he's very giving, they are built off of that, based off, but that it was trickled down to him.
So I promise you, this won't take too long. So 3 things we got to push back on. Y'all fellas, I don't know how y'all keep letting this shit slide. Well, I get you, because that's just saying you have different. That's fine. But one, Shan, you saying a lot of rich men that were kind. Of course they're kind because they want to fuck you. If you were ugly, that would matter. If you were unattractive, that would matter. You don't know very many men who aren't going to be kind to you because they want to add to the miles of dick you've taken in your life. So that's not necessarily a thing we can brag about. Like, oh, well, men with money do this because of no. Those men were kind. They were kind because they wanted to fuck you and had money. So that's what they probably.
So is that different from a man who doesn't have money?
He still wants to fuck you too. He's just kind without money.
Right,
so,
okay.
So that's the problem. Like, you have to be very unattractive for the way that a man treats you that's not fucking you to matter. Because again, he wants to actually, like, we're objective based. So these niggas aren't being kind for a reason. I mean, for no reason. And Bo, there is a big difference about where we put our money when we do donate it, because we don't have to donate to charities. We can go buy art. We can also go lose money, hide money. There's a bunch of other ways we can do it. So there is something to be said for guys who do donate to charities, especially ones that start their own foundations and then, run the money through there and then still do good with it. So there is something to be said for that. And then lastly, if money is part of a man's character, then Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, who else? Who was another billionaire that you're saying y'all are going to...
Elon Musk.
No, I don't want to say his name because I don't want my shit to start breaking. How much money they have, because at the end of the day, if money is part of your character, it can't weigh the same as being honest, being intelligent. It has to weigh more because you have so much more of it. To say that men who have money or like getting to upper echelons, this is the part that I hope that y'all understand. Y'all are only speaking from conjecture. It's speculation at best, because what a man tells Shan about how he got his money and what he did has to be tempered by the fact that he wants some head. The thing that a woman tells Sharon about how she got her money has to be tempered by she needs a stepdaddy or she just wants some dick, whatever it's saying she's seeing him. And y'all have to start considering that part, because y'all take shit at face value when it benefits you. Like, oh yeah, I've had a rich man stalking me. If a rich man really wanted to stalk you, he would have got your ass. You wouldn't be on this show, because he has money and he can make some inconvenient things happen to you. You'd be duct taped.
When I say stalk, he wasn't trying to kill.
Their character, and money absolutely matters. To make the type of money that you women respect, and I'm saying you women in general respect, is not easy. And if it was, everybody would do it. Everybody would be making $250,000 a month. Everybody would say we have all this money and there would be no poor people. But unfortunately, it's niggas that need to work at Walmart. It's niggas that need to drop off my DoorDash deliveries. And those are the men that y'all don't pay attention to. Like those are the men that you don't acknowledge. And I know you're finna say, what's a mechanic that I know? Well, guess what? You know why you know him? Because he did something for you. But guess what the common denominator is between all the rich niggas and average niggas? They still want to fuck. So they're going to do what it takes to fuck. A rich nigga can pay for it. An average nigga got to listen to you about your life story, pretend like he likes your hair, pretend like he gives a fuck about your childhood until you come up off that ass. A rich nigga doesn't have to do that. He can wine and dine you, and then at some point you're gonna be like, you know what? My dress belongs on the floor.
Not that we have this thing where we go after rich people like they're just these bad people, but then the other guy is not. Like, no, I think that should, like Bo, I think that Bo was trying to articulate, it probably should just
pick. I've encountered so many women that when they don't play about themselves, you can't date them for 7 years. You can't be in a relationship for a decade. That's not commonplace. So a lot of what I see is that they're just talking. If you truly want to be picked, you don't waste the very valuable asset of your time, if that is truly who you are. But if 4 years goes by and 8 years go by and you're saying, well, I'm just trying to wait till he gets this together, I got to call cap. You are who you are no matter where you're at. So if you really are at that level of being able to attract what you say and claim you deserve, I'm sorry, this young lady that we're doing a reaction to wouldn't have made it to almost 40 and had no solid suitors. I just don't believe that. It doesn't even correlate. It's like you made it to 40. I'm sure you've had a job. You've made it to 40. I'm sure you had a couple of cars. You telling me you made it to 40 and couldn't get nobody of adequacy? Something's not happening.
But that's the so even if when I looked at stats, and please somebody can Google it real fast, even when I looked at stats in 2005, because I wanted to do research on when did the decline happen, like how far back in my, as far as I can remember, did the decline happen. Even then, the marriage rates were extremely low. So even before the internet took place, people were in relationships, but the marriage rates were.
I agree. You can't just wait for life to knock. You have to go and get it. This is for men and women. I agree. I said this, right? This is the problem with a lot of people, right? Particularly women, but men do it too, right? You expect things to just fall in your lap, right? You expect things to just fall in your lap. I got a girlfriend because I left America. I traveled. I took a chance, right? I went around the world to find someone that fits me. It's like if I just stayed home, like doing nothing, and I expect I get a girl, you're ridiculous. Just like a woman want to manifest a man, you're stupid.
Still low, and I've seen people it's people out there in relationships now. It's very rare that I go somewhere and I'm not seeing people holding hands. These are not turning into marriages. There is just, I don't know, Kuba, I don't know what to do. You can go to a festival in no rings, but they're holding hands, no rings. So it's just so confusing.
Because you have to require it. This is the problem. Like, men are not going to give you something if you don't require it. Plain and simple. Evil Eddie. Thank you. This is something that a lot of women don't realize. Men give you a ring, right? For reasons, right? Not just because he loves you. Because men feel like if he loves you, well, he can just be with you for a long-term relationship. That's enough. There's a reason why men will give you a ring, right? There has to be a reason. Usually it's because of children. Usually it's because you require it, right? You require it. Because men can get everything that men want, they can get it without a marriage, right? Men can get it. Men can get children without the marriage. Men can get a woman's body without marriage. So at the end of the day, if men can get shit without that level of commitment, men are going to do it. The issue is, are women going to require it? Do women demand it? Right? Is a future with her, the man is a future with her comes with marriage or not? It's plain and simple.
On, I don't.
Well, now that I know that if I hold my woman's hand, we got to be married, even though.
No, we're basing it off of.
No problem. Give me a hard time. So, Sharon, I want to ask you a question. Just because I want to pick up, I want to test your logic for a second. Like, so do you feel that, a guy should be 40 years old starting a rap career?
Starting.
Yeah, like they never talk about, he at work, he working his 9 to 5, he driving his, he making his $100,000 a year driving for UPS, and he just, man, fuck this, I got bars. I want to go home and be a rapper. Do you think that's a prudent decision for him to make at 40 years old?
That's a complicated question for me. I believe if he turned it into a hobby and he is rapping about him being a UPS driver and he's going to make a career off of that What I'm saying is he trying to make a rap career over his life of being UPS driver and all those
Whiskey, what is up, my brother? What is up?
intricate bars that he had for that, then I think that's okay. But if he actually trying to be a gangster rapper and have an image of what that's an issue.
Okay, so let me ask it a different way. Do you think the odds of him being successful as a rapper starting at 40 is higher than lower than him failing at being a rapper at 40?
Man, I don't know if I can answer that, to be honest.
This is the problem with panderists. They can't answer questions directly, right? They can't be honest. They're not being honest. Yeah, no duh. Like being young and being talented doesn't guarantee you a career, right? Particularly in music, in entertainment. Being talented doesn't even guarantee you a career. So now being older, right? And probably not that talent, you can't even answer that? That's probably like a 1% chance. A 1% chance. And it's like you can't even. This is the problem with panders.
Give me your opinion. Just if you can say yes, higher or lower. Like, do you see a lot of 40-year-old rappers right now that are successful, or people starting rappers that are 40 years old?
I believe if the person is true to themselves and they actually have the musical talent, they could be successful. Because we have Jelly Roll, he started getting popular as he turned 40. So
right, different thing, different genre. A 40-year-old can definitely start singing. No argument there. So, do you think that a 45-year-old man or a 39-year-old man should decide, you know what, I want to go back to college and play college football at 39 years old? Do you think that he has a chance of making it to the NFL at 39?
Man, that is crazy. You can play football if you go back to college at 39. No, because
cut it out.
Yeah, he's trying to support that
already. I'll tell you like this. I know. See, like, so I know athletes, right? And I know a couple of athletes that made it to professional after the age of 39. They didn't become no superstar or anything like that, but they got $1 million checks. So it's if you actually put your body. So the problem that I have with it, right? If you are actually putting your mentality and your body through the.
This is why I hate pandering men. I hate pandering men. They're just a bunch of BS.
Progression of being successful at whatever that is, I believe that person can do it. So if you start at 40 years old and you have a mentality and you got a history behind it, you can turn into something successful, whatever it is that you're doing.
Not a problem.
I'm talking about the majority.
Do you think that a man has a higher chance of going to NFL or being, or doing anything physical like that, NBA, whatever, when he's in his physical prime?
Yes.
Okay.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So you said that marriage-minded women go through their life and start trying to get married at 39. So that's how we know you don't believe that, because logically that doesn't make sense. A marriage-minded woman would not wait until she's used and washed up in the market in which that she is trying to now go have herself purchased to go actually and try to pursue that thing. A woman can't say that, well, I went and did my career first, then I had my whole phase during my marriage, and now that I've done through all that, I want to be a wife. But you just said the exact same. But you just told us that you don't believe that men will be successful doing something in their prime. Why would you prescribe that women go do the same thing? Wait until they're out of their prime.
You misrepresent what I'm saying. I'll clarify for you. So a 39-year-old woman that have a history of doing certain things, she is not just dating to be dating. She's dating with intention. She's having a career with intention. She's making money with intention. All those things shows that a woman is very focused. That is a woman that is possibly marriage-minded because she is very focused. So if she could focus on her career, she could focus on the way how she handles herself in the street. She could also focus on a relationship as well. I don't think that.
Where's the proof of that? Where's the proof of a 39-year-old woman, right, having that level of success? Actually, marriage rates are down, right? Marriage rates are down. Like, there are more single people than ever before. Where's your proof of that?
Because she had some kind of, I guess, a whole phase that now all of a sudden that she can have.
The only sport a 40-year-old man would succeed at is WNBA. I think there's a decent amount of men doing like bowling, darts, and like,
a new outlook in life that means that she cannot be a wife all of a sudden. So if
no argument there,
and if that is the case,
meaning is that one, what you prioritize is what you're minded. That woman wasn't marriage minded until she wanted to be married, and now what she also thinks is that because she's done these other things, like we just explained to you, her career, all those things, she thinks those are what make her qualify for the men she wants. And now she's 45, still trying to find the dude. But that's cool, right? So let me ask you this. I'm saying we take the whole phase out of it. A woman being a lot of times. A woman can be intentional about being married, but can you say that if a woman is not finding out what the man she's with requires from his wife and then trying to be those things, that she's intentional about being a wife?
Ask the question one more time.
Can you say that a woman who says she wants to be married is being intentional about getting married if she's not finding out what it takes to marry the man that she's with, what he values in a woman, what he wants his wife to be, what his expectations are?
If she's not focusing on the person that she's with, and yes, then I agree with you 100%. She got to be able to be a wife to the man that she is with, for sure.
So do you see how now that your logic, and mind you, everything that you're saying, there's a age group for it. It's not the women on this panel. The stuff that you're talking about is for women in their prime. And it's not, again, it's not a dig at anybody, but it's a fact. What you're talking about right now is not for your peers. It's not for your contemporaries. It's for the people that come after you. So if you were having this conversation with a panel full of young women in their prime, it would land, and I don't think much pushback would be had. However, you're telling old women to date like young women, and that is their number one problem.
That is insane to me. So no, that's crazy. So we're saying that older women that is career driven and they focus on non-relationship things.
Yes,
that those women when they hit 30, when they hit 36, right? They are not marriageable anymore.
No. Whoa. What I'm saying is not saying that they're not marriageable. They're not as marriageable as the women that these men want and that they're competing with. A 40-year-old woman who's been in her career for 20 years is not going to be as wifely, as marriage material to a man who values all the things that men value compared to that 25, 26, 27, 28-year-old woman who has less life experience, has been through less relationships and failed, has less trauma, less baggage, and then more importantly is still open to being taught and coached. So that's who these 40-year-old women are competing with. For example, let's say that I know that you're a millionaire, right? You're the guy that
the issue that I'm having is that the issue that I'm having with you saying, Will, is that you're saying that those men that is at this upper echelon, they are too immature for their age.
No, it's not that
they gotta date somebody with less experience, and all these things that they gonna have to mold them into something where they could be with somebody that's at their level of thinking, at their level of career mentality, knows how to move in a room, know how to hold themselves out. They cannot deal with a mature woman that has boundaries. They want to deal with somebody that they're gonna have to build their boundaries, is what I'm hearing.
So that's how you interpret it, because I'm saying what type of mind you have, and you are very feminine minded when it comes to this, and that's fine. But what we're telling you is that there's nothing immature about a man who wants a woman who has not been through shit. Because again, if that was the case, and just to prove it, these women on these panels that we're reviewing would all have husbands. If that was the case, the problem is not that men are immature; it's that women hate it when we use the car analogy, but it's the most appropriate one. We do not want a car that looks a 2026 model because it's fine, she's thick, she's done these things. However,
here's the marriage rates, right? The likelihood of a woman getting married ages 35 to 39 is about 30 to 50%. The likelihood of a woman ages 40 to 44 is about 20 to 40%. And the likelihood of a woman ages 45 to 49 is about 10 to 25%. That's how likely she will get married at that age. Right, at those ages.
That 2026 has 50,000 miles on it already. And that's what it's like dating some of these attractive older women for these men. And then so
it's just proof that it doesn't get easier over time, right? It's not impossible. It just doesn't get easier. Right? It actually gets harder over time.
If I ask you this, then this is a logic question. You got to pick one and don't try to pontificate or do any of that, swaying, riding the fence shit. There's two women. They have the exact same credentials. Professional, they're exact same. One is 40. I'm talking about same titty size, same ass size, same all of this. They both want kids, and they want all the same things. They have all the same characteristics that you look for in a wife. One is 40 and one is 30. Which one are you picking?
I'm 45, so I would choose the 40-year-old.
Why?
Because we have more relatable things in common. We'll be listening to the same music. We be into the same clothing. We be into the same.
Why wouldn't a 30-year-old listen to the same music? Right? Why wouldn't? What's stopping a 30-year-old listen to the same music? What's the guarantee that a 40-year-old would listen to the same music as you? Maybe you like rap. Maybe she likes hip hop. Age doesn't necessarily correlate to similar hobbies.
Ideology. We be into the same history. A lot of our things that is just natural to us when we just in the house and I'm listening to an old school song. Me and her gonna start dancing to that song. I ain't gonna be dancing to no goddamn Sexy Red with no damn 30-year-old in my house cleaning on Sunday. It is just, for me mentally, I
wholeheartedly expect you to pick the 40-year-old. But now let me ask you this: y'all want to have children? You want to actually go? Why would you pick the 40-year-old woman when having a child at 40 is a geriatric pregnancy? It's dangerous, and then more importantly, you're 45. So what you want to consider the fact that the average life expectancy is 72. If you're having a child at 45, you probably want to have a younger woman there because then that child is more likely to have a parent while they're older. Because you're likely to die when that baby is 22. And this is why I ask you this. As soon as I asked you the first question, we knew what you were about to say. The second time I asked you, I softened the stance on a little bit just to give you a little more leeway. And right now, this is the thing. The difference between you and the other men like who are 45 with money, you're not looking to lead. You're looking to get along with. You're looking to cohabitate with. You're looking to survive with. The majority of men are in the women's position that women want. They are leaders. They are looking to provide. They are looking to coach. They are looking to actually impress themselves upon their women. And mind you, there is nothing wrong with that. But you, sir, are the minority in that upper echelon of men. And I'm giving you, I'm assuming you make $250 a year, you're 6'6", all the things that women like, I'm giving you that. But in that group that you're in of desirable men, you are the oddity. The rest of us, we don't want these women with collecting these kilometers a dick, been on 45 trips, been flown out by 30 different niggas. We do not want those women because we want women that we can do those things with, that we can share those experiences with. And you are just looking to get along and having stuff in common. And that's where we defer.
So I think you adding the ran through part is kind of ridiculous to me.
Well, I mean,
that ran through part was not a part of the conversation. Now you adding that in to make me seem and push what leads you somewhere. It shows because I'm a leader. I have an actual train of thought and logic. I'm not just to let you know. I don't give a damn about what no other man say about the woman I'm going to choose. So that's insane. To 2 decades, been with that one woman, and to actually hear, because in reality,
talking about black women tonight. So you're not leading a black woman in a marriage.
So just because even if I was in a marriage with a black woman, doesn't mean that I'm a leader of black women. I'm a leader to my woman.
This is why
whatever race that woman is, I'll be a leader to her. I'm not attempting to be a leader of black women.
But
my conversation tonight has not even been talking towards black women.
That's my point.
My conversation today was talking about.
That's my point.
Conversation tonight. That's
my point. It's all speculation and conjecture coming from you because again, you're talking to the wrong group of people. If you were like a professor in college and teaching a women's studies class, those younger women, message received spot on. But you are literally telling people, and we're talking about black women, what black men need to do to lead black women. For you to not be leading one, it means that everything you say is just speculation and conjecture. There is no prescription that you can give. There is no recommendation you can give because again, when you said that you changed your mindset to get a better outcome, your better outcome was a non-black woman. So when we said earlier,
the man is not even married to a black woman. The fucking seriously, how can you you believe that a white woman is exactly the same in general to a black woman? Or I'm not even saying I don't even know what type of woman, but you this is the stupidity. I've dated, I mean, believe it or not, I've dated predominantly black women. I know their temperament. I know their personality in general. It's like this man is a pure panderer.
That black men would do better if they weren't so fiercely loyal to black women and primarily dated them. You are the example.
No, so again, you building a narrative that's just not true. I'm from a place where race is not held at a high prestige like in some of these southern places. So where I'm at, I didn't choose my woman because she was a different hue.
Oh, I won't make that. I'm not making that assumption.
Yeah, but that's an assumption that you attempted to make. Because I still have, so my daughter's still going to be considered black, even though most people and just know we know is bullshit. So again, so I do. And so the problem is that I was talking to men this whole time.
Your daughter may be perceived as black, but your woman won't.
I didn't mention women and say what women should or should not do. What I'm saying is that men should understand what women are communicating clearly. And so, what you displayed, that men stand in his vagina, and that's not true. Women offer more. The least thing you are going to do with whoever you marry is have sex with her. You're going to do everything else 10 times more than that.
Agreed.
So this idea that you for some reason, but it ain't working with me, my brother.
No, there's not a false narrative.
Shame on you. Shame on you, Willie. Let's get going there real quickly. Shame on you, Willie.
Shame on me for what?
For painting that narrative.
I didn't. What lie did I tell? Is not being funny, but what did I say that was wrong? He's not married to a black woman. He's not leading black women, and he hasn't been for 20 years. Which one of those things is not true?
We're gonna come back and visit that. Go ahead, Bo.
I just wanted to make sure. If I'm wrong, I'll pay for being wrong. No problem.
I don't know why Lapeef is pandering to that.
I'm always uncomfortable when people speak about middle-aged women the way they do. It's like
because she's a
we get punished for like not dying. Like flashes. And here's the thing.
I did a reaction on this video on this part of that video. So it's on last night's live. So please check it out.
Through aging, like from women who I didn't clock like are constantly single. And so talking to me in here has helped me understand a lot, understand and be impressed upon, because we know we don't know everything. You need to meet a woman who is one, happy in her life as she is. Not that she's
saying 40-year-old women, older women can be coachable. They're fucking not.
Still doesn't want better. Not that she still doesn't have goals, but someone who is content with what she has. Women have pushback exists. And so
what you get punished for, what we remark on, is the fact that that you're older and you still think that you have the same requirements and you demand the same value that you did when you were in your prime. Older women, when they get older, they don't take that in consideration that men do like younger women, unless it's a problem they want to, try to bash another content creator over. So that's why we have that conversation. It's not, we understand that you're older. And then mind you, that I never say all women anything or all of anything, but what the respectable. The majority of 40-year-old women are not going to be led by a man because, as you just admitted, you're going to have pushback sometimes because you're a grown woman and have your opinion. The majority of 40-year-old women also are probably not going to wait until the appropriate time when you're at home by yourself, when you're saying out in front of company, to actually push back and give those opinions. That's what I'm saying. I'm never going to say that all 40-year-old women are bad, all 40-year-old women are washed. But again, Bo, look at these panels, right? That are, as far as their character, how many of them do you see that you see men see as like a little point? He said, I thought that all women was good for sex. No, it's not all women are good for. But that is one of the primary things that men want from a woman. That if it's not number one, it's number two. There's a multitude of other things that women can do for the ideal man they have. But unfortunately, there's a multitude of other women who can do that thing based off the math longer, and then based off of those men's experiences better than an older woman can. Like there's a great saying, the wall is undefeated. Was three things undefeated. Father, or if she goes and finds a man that she loves dearly and says, hey, what would it take for me to be the best wife I can be for you? And he says, this, and this. And you go do those things, you be married. But women aren't doing that. They're going to find men that they like, getting the attention from them, usually sexually, because that's how you could get a dude's attention that, has bread already. And then telling him, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to do this. You can't ask me for that. Just because you have money, I don't care. And he said, okay, cool. I'm just going to keep fucking you. I'm never going to commit to you. I'm never going to marry you. And then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of that, she's 40 years old and still wondering why she can't get the same guy that she was getting when she was 30. Because when you're 40, y'all get set on your highest setting. So if you fuck a rich nigga one time, that's your default now. That's what you feel like you can deserve, what you feel like you can attract, what you feel like you can keep. And it's just not true. Because if it was, y'all would be married to rich niggas.
I think the issue is not the punishment, Bo, that you state. I think the issue, honestly, is the fact that if you're aged, how you got to your age unwed, not in a relationship that you respect is the issue. So we all get older lifespan, like Willie said, 72 plus, whatever, right? That's not the issue. There are certain things I think it's fair to expect from adults, grown people. There's language that should be coming out your mouth at certain stages. So I think they just did something along the lines with, what's that girl named? Vivica, the other day. This lady, 60-something years old, still talking like she's 28 years old. The birth of a woman and not have something solid. Something did not transpire correctly. That to me is what I've kind of been standing on. There's a mentality that's not there. There's something that's missing. Being a woman, in my opinion, is the easiest thing to be if you're trying to attract men. Like, you are literally able to attract men. It don't even require no talent. So if you got 4 decades plus and you haven't been able to acquire one of these solid men, it's not just the market. I'm just not believing that. It doesn't even make any sense. Then I'll land.
That's crazy to me.
We'll probably get to Sharon.
She talks a lot of crap, so I skip her.
Traveling and not vacationing. To communicate with, because trust me when I tell you, when you communicate with your woman on an equal playing field, the sex is much better.
So I didn't say that I only date women who are 40 and up that don't have children. I said that I don't date women who don't have children. So that could be 20, 30, or 40. So again, see how the context matters when we have these conversations? Because the crazy,
right, so it doesn't change, but it doesn't change what I'm saying. But the thing is that like those women was led by somebody else, and you don't feel like those women are not leadable.
That's probably why you should have just waited, so that way everybody can hear exactly what you have to say.
You had a little break in your.
There was no break at all. But you said, Mont said that he bets he could get a 43-year-old in his type of time. Speculation. It's speculative. We look at Mont and we say, yeah, Mont young. Say Mont handsome, tall dude, got bread. He might can do it. It's realistic, right? But then in the same way that you said that you would want that 40-year-old because you can still talk to her. That same a 30-year-old woman can be taught how to be spoken about. The 30-year-old can be coached because she's been influenced less. Like as a coach, right? I like the kids that come to me, they have never been trained before because they have no bad habits. So when I'm teaching them how to swing, I don't have to do low with their front, rock with the back in this example, so y'all can keep up. The fewer influences you have, the better to get the desired outcome. And the desired outcome for a man is fidelity. We look at all of these sciences that say if a woman's been with more than 4 dudes, it's hard to pair bond. If a woman's been with more than 8 guys, the likelihood of her being married for more than 10 years drops like 80%. There's all these studies and everything that have been done by people much smarter than all of us. No, that's not right. It's not that it's not right. It's that you don't agree with it. Because everybody has an opinion. The difference is when I'm having these conversations, the majority of these things are factual. I'm not going to debate your opinion. Like I've never told you that your opinion is wrong. But when you present things as fact, like you say, well, no, that is a fact. It's not. It's just because you don't agree with what the data shows. The data will show that Mont won't actually be able to get a 43-year-old woman this time. He can get some pussy out of her though. He can get her to cook, clean, do those things. But long term, she's still competing with women that are more desirable and younger, or even less, whatever she has at 43 than she is. Women have this idea that, well, I'm not competing unless I'm actually in a race. We all start at the same time. The thing is the man that you want is going to have access to a lot of women. And you can be 30. There may be a 35-year-old who's better than you that will be more desirable for him. However, it's likely that they're going to be younger women with, through a 20-year-old life than I would a 40-year-old woman that I may have went to high school with. Because again, at the end of the day, if my goal is to stay married long term, like one of the dopest things, Shannon, he's married. So at least he's married. So if my goal is to be like him and be married, because you've been married for 20 years, right? For a while. Like I'm better equipped to do that. And unfortunately, statistically speaking, older women are not that.
You know what's interesting about statistics?
You can cut me off.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be long though. I actually got one for y'all ladies. So believe it or not, more than half of the average men in their 40s will date women with less than 2 years of an age disparity. So if
I agree, keep her in check. I agree, keep her in check.
You are in your 40s, you can find a man that is actually going to date you, right? So that's a fact. However,
so Willie Fast was false.
Wait, I'm not done. Let me go. So, but what I will say is that when you
my bad for fucking your name up, Sharon. My bad.
when you incorporate wealth into the picture, it drastically changes. So men that can actually do what it is that they want to do, right? They will not accept the same standard. It becomes drastically different. You're talking about like 75% of wealthy men will date girls significantly younger than them. So that's the problem. And you could simply solve this problem a couple of ways, right? One, you could actually date men that are within your realm that are easily obtainable, right? Or you could try to level up to the point where you can obtain these men. And I think that's the problem is that if I was 5'5" instead of 6'4", then I would understand that I'm going to get less looks, I'm going to get less attention, I'm going to get less smiles, I'm going to get less people to say hi to me or nice shirt or whatever the hell that happens to me on a regular basis. They're going to look at me differently. And we know that. The dudes that are short, the short kings know they're not going to grab the attention. Dudes get bigger cars because they know they're going to get more attention. Dudes hit the gym hard because they know they're going to get more attention. Almost everything that dudes do is behind obtaining women, but women somehow feel like their existence alone is able to obtain men. It doesn't really work like that. And I know we don't want to accept the fact that, and we're not trying to say,
or more like keep men, right? Women think that their existing alone will keep men. Okay. Your existence will get you a man, right? Your existence will get you a man. Women, it's like women just need to exist and there will be men out there that want you. They just need to exist. It's not the same thing as keeping said men.
That you're less of a person.
Or even getting the man that you want or keeping the man that you want.
But men in the sexual marketplace are going to see you as less valuable, unfortunately. So for those factors that Dr. Willie done beat you in the head with for days and days, it is what it is. And we're all different. I wouldn't want to date somebody who is significantly younger than me. That's just me. But not everybody thinks so. And when dudes get a lot of money on them, the dudes who most of these women are chasing, and you got to understand this, the biggest problem that we have is that I would say every single woman on the panel's standards have raised. I don't think anybody's standards have gotten worse. And you think that you're doing better by that. And okay, I get it. If you say, look, I learned my lesson from this and I'm never going to deal with this anymore. I'm not going to have a dude who does the nonsense that these other guys did to me. I'm not going to have somebody who's abusive, which makes sense. I'm not going to have a guy that doesn't have his money together, which makes sense. But when you start adding other things on there, oh, now I need a dude who could cook. Oh yeah, I need a dude who could sling schlong. Okay, cool. Once you start adding these things on and your standards become higher and then your value is going here, you're not going to run into anybody who's compatible. You're decreasing your odds dramatically. You're your own worst enemy in that case. Men have a pretty good grasp on this. We know what we can get and we know what we can't. And we try to stay in our lane. But women somehow can't really do that. And you don't have to accept anyone, but you can't think that you deserve one just because either.
Yeah, I guess I can make a couple different points. I I agree that I'm not ignoring the fact that a lot of women are insufferable, right? I'm not right. So many men who are just emotional, they just gotta raise their voice. They can't it's like they don't understand. Be very important to a relationship, and it's like when certain things are applicable and when they're just right, so easy, like clockwork, like so simple. But other people will tell you don't do it under no circumstance because it's just a bad thing to do. So I just think like you gotta know when you just can't always go off statistics, but I understand that sometimes it makes sense for the general population if we're just looking at it in that perspective. But you got to know when you when to apply certain things.
Let me just hit a few of these real quick, and then.
I don't like it when she talks. She makes little.
But men referring to women as like marketplace things and having marketplace value, it reminds me, but I'm just two white men buying slaves on the auction block. And y'all really need to stop that. No, you don't. You do what you want to do. But I don't want, I never bought.
I talked about this section also on the live yesterday. So
like, I ain't trying to change nobody's to be. I don't see like feelings who has ambition. I don't see y'all like that. And a lot of products ready to be bought. It's disgusting and dehumanizing.
So, Bo, we're talking about in the dating marketplace. So, to your analogy, you said that in slaves, that was a marketplace in which they would go to buy slaves. That was the marketplace. In the dating marketplace, women who are dating are in a marketplace where men are the pickers because you guys are dating for marriage. Give them that credit. That's why you have a value, because your value is not just placed on things that can be purchased. For example, the fact that you're feminine is valuable, is a value. The fact that a woman has a fat ass is of value. A fact that a woman is nurturing is of value. So when we're talking about, there's nobody out here purchasing women in that sentiment. The only thing that we are doing as men is we're in the marketplace as single men, and those men are picking the women that they want to commit to and then marry. So no one has attached a monetary value to what you are, which would be what should be offensive, because there are actual markets where people go and purchase people still. There are markets where they say, okay, well, for example, in Paris, which is a very large human trafficking hub, you would be safe because you're older and you're black. However, a younger woman who is lighter skinned, let's say Jay, like if Jay was in her 20s, she'd be a prime target, not because of anything other than the fact that, not because she's attractive, it's because they can work her longer. So there are actual marketplaces where you should be offended, but this isn't one of those, because we're talking about your value in the dating market, not your value as a human. And we should never conflate those two things.
I've said that before, right? Women have a problem with being able to distinguish what's your value as a human and what's your value when you're dating, right? It's like, it's only when it comes to men, women have a problem with it. Women judge men, height, wealth, charm, looks, smell. Like seriously, those are his values, right? If he's like stinky, short, poor, all it's values, right? These are values. Women are, I'm sorry. This is why, because when you're so emotional, you can't think.
So there's a thing, there's something, I think everybody has to get to the understanding that every single relationship is transactional, whether we would like to agree to it or not. It absolutely is. And it's impossible for it not to be. If you're looking at it at a macro level, then you could say that. So you can throw that type of fluff on because you say people are humans. But inherently as humans, we are all transactional, because if you expect reciprocity, that is literally transactional. If people don't do what it is that you expect them to do, you're going to quit the relationship. It's transactional. There's nothing that once you have terms and expectations, it becomes transactional. Relationships are transactional.
I find it funny that a 40-year-old woman is saying the shit she's saying. Show me your proof, right? The man that you not date, the man that you broke up with, or the man you're not with, he couldn't do what you want him to do. Right? He didn't give you what you wanted him to give you.
No matter how you spin it, it doesn't. You can shake your head, but when you break it down to the core of it, it still doesn't change the fact that it's transactional. Because if people don't meet your needs, then you stop outputting. That's period. Otherwise, you're going to consider yourself being abused.
I was gonna say, Trev saying it's transactional. I don't think that I agree with that. I don't think that means that it's not other things. Like it's not obviously like for love, that word transaction. I think people just have an issue with, because it sounds like almost like it's only business and that's it.
Yeah, I understand what Trevor's saying, but that's just like a portion of it. Like I said, that's a portion of, you know, relationships and dating. And I understand what Bo was saying. It's like once we get into these online spaces, I don't know when it started. I think it started before Kevin Samuels, but like we start looking at dating from this fucking nerdy way of like, oh, we just calculate this and this, that, and the third, and we just add this together. And it's like, and we start looking at fucking data and statistics about fucking dating. Like that's fucking weird. I mean, I get it. That's where we at this point.
You're stupid. This is a thing where it's psychology. It's studying of the human mind. Right? They literally do that. Plus, it's what the players do. Right? Literally studying women, studying the opposite gender. Literally, players do this. Saying a nerdy. This is why I say he's a panderer. Right? Because he's being dishonest.
In time, but like, you know, like niggas like adding up shit to see their percentage of how they going to like what we going to end up with a woman and shit. Like I think it's weird. It might just be the online stuff, but
yeah. But you know what, Matt? What happens, Matt, is that when you do that, you are working against the grain, right? You actually fucking the game up right now because for real, you are giving credence to people with unrealistic, stupid ass expectations. The reason why people bring up these statistics is because people need to understand what is actually happening in reality. Right? And people are saying that, no, it's really not like that. So you bring the data to refute the nonsense. There's noise. There's a whole lot of noise and no fucking signal coming in. And you are perpetuating that bullshit right now.
No, I'm just saying, like niggas, like we have fucking calculators. We tell women to put their weight in and the age of the guy. We're like, well, she has a 0.007% chance of getting a man. Like she's supposed to walk around.
A lot of it is necessary only because it's so easy for people to deny it and feel like this is how I feel. I'm gonna go by my feelings. Oh, I don't really think so. The only way to refute the nonsense is to come with statistical facts, data to show that these are the actual outcomes. This is what really happens in real life. And if you don't present it in such a way that's irrefutable, then they're going to keep saying unrealistic, goofy shit. That's all we're trying to do is bring it down to earth so people can understand. We're trying to come to a language that people do understand. All of us know about data. All of us go by statistics for other things. We're just bringing it there so they can realize it and stop just saying bullshit or this doesn't happen. Because people keep saying that, no, it's not really like that. No, it doesn't happen. So when you bring the data, people just get mad like, okay, what can you say to that? How can you refute the data?
I did want to just make a point of what Miss Pearl was saying. I just wanted to agree with her because people are involved, not involved, whether it's they didn't get and instead of your energy is going to, bring that towards you.
And I think the problem is that everything is facts and stats when it's against a woman. But in reality, the facts and...
What the fuck are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? Facts and stats it's like, you can use that. What the hell are you talking about? Facts and stats is used when you are being emotional instead of logical, right? It's just plain and simple. Men understand stats too. It goes with men as well, right? Men understand that, you know what? The majority of self-deletion is men, right? The majority of, alimony is towards men to women. Men understand stats. Majority of court cases, right? In family court, it goes towards women. Men understand stats as well, right? Divorce is about 50%, right? Divorce is a 50-50 corn shoot. 70% of divorces are fought by women. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Stats is saying that regular average men are finding average women. It's not this idea of what these men all keep saying that you got to be a certain weight, you got to be a certain height, you can't have 2.2 children, you better not have a dog, and you better not, like, that's all BS. And we just got to be honest with what is happening in the real world. Those facts that we keep trying to make women realize that they're going to have to just go ahead and grab any under average man is just not true.
This is the thing where this is why he's a fucking pandering idiot. Men don't say these stats to tell, oh, you need to go with average men. You need to go with men you don't want. No, fucking men aren't doing that shit. Men say these stats. It's more of like, you got to be realistic, right? You can't blame men. Right? I said this fucking before, right? I've said this so many times before. I don't give a shit who you want to date, right? I don't care if women want to date only 6-foot men. I don't care if women want to date only six-figure men. I don't give a shit if women only want to date men with BBCs. I don't care. Okay? What I do care about, right, is that when women in the social media age, women go online and say a whole lot of shit about men. That's what I care about. I don't care what you do in your private life. I don't care what you do in your own life. I care when you go online, you date the men that you picked, right? You date the men that you picked. You come online saying all men are shitty. Men are violent. Men are crappy. Men are cheaters. There's no good men out there. You know what? All these men are broke. All these men are shitty. All these, like, when you come online and then shit on men, that's what I fucking care about. That is why men say these stats. It's like, bitch, like, there's only like 15% of 6 foot men. And if you're saying that all the men that you date are 6 foot, and all the men that you date, right, that are 6 foot and are shitty, and then you come online and said all men are shit, bitch, you've only dated, right, a small percentage of men. You don't know. You don't know most men. That's what I care about, right? That's what I talk. That's what the manosphere, that's what Redpill talk about. They're not saying, bitch, get with an average man. No, right? You can do what you want. No one is forcing you to pick a man that you don't want. No one is forcing you to pick an incel, right? There is no, at least I don't know, right? Maybe you see it. But there is no content creator out there that's saying, you need to pick an incel. You need to pick an average man. You need to pick a shitty man, right? You need to pick a terrible man. No one is telling you to pick a terrible man, right? What people are telling you is that, fine, pick who you want to pick. But don't come out here and then blame men for the men that you do pick, right? Don't blame men that, you know what, if you only go for 6 foot men, right, and then only date 6 foot men, and then come out here online, right, in the social media age, and then spew a whole lot of shit about men, right? Men are cheaters, men are liars, men are terrible, all this shit. That's the problem, right? That's when men are talking about your delusion. Right? That's when men are humbling you, right? They're humbling you because you are deluded. That's the thing. You can choose whatever man you want. No one cares. No man cares. They don't care. Right? They say shit is because to wake you up. You are an average woman wanting above average man. Fine. Right? But then you can't want above average man and then come out here and say a whole lot of shit about all men when most men are just average, right? And when you have bad experiences with above average man because he only want to fuck you and doesn't want to commit to you, it's your fucking problem. It's not men's problems, right? That's the thing.
When she get older in age and she ain't gonna be able to find somebody in her age group, it's just not true. This whole idea that if a man finds a woman with at 40, he's looking at her that, oh, she doesn't have any value is ridiculous when we put it in the real world. It only goes with these talk.
She doesn't have, it's not like she doesn't have any value. She has a lower value. Shut the fuck up.
Points. And this is why we got to change. And they're the ones that are the married men that have been in a relationship for a long time. We cannot be saying the same thing that the remedial rhetoric men are saying. If we are having an issue with the good women are standing too close to the hoes, then the bro's going to have to do the same thing. We cannot be too close to the degenerate men. We cannot say the same thing as degenerate men. And we are the men that's moving with high discipline issue. You need to grow up. We cannot. It's ridiculous. And I don't understand why we cannot just get men to understand we got to have a culture shift and we want to actually move the community in a different direction.
But everybody has preferences, though. I'm sorry.
The thing that I hear y'all say all the time is men don't think like women. Men don't act like women. Cool. But when a woman is telling you that how you communicate things sounds and feels very dehumanizing, what you do is explain it away instead of saying, oh, I get it. Like, I understand. I already understood the reason y'all did that. Like, I understand that. But what I'm saying is, if you are to effectively communicate with the opposite sex, you're going to need to understand how we receive things. And if you fight against how we receive things and you just want to do what you want to do, what that means to me as a woman is that what men think is the only thing that matters. How men want to communicate is the only thing that matters. When you talking to your nigga friends, say what you want to say. When you're talking to women about women, you communicate in the way that they receive it. And if I'm telling you how we receive things, and you just tell me, well, this is what we mean, I don't give a fuck what you mean. It's how it makes me feel. And if that don't matter, just say that.
I would say that, you know what? Yeah, it don't matter, right? Your life, this is the thing where, this is why I said, at the end of the day, your life is the proving ground. Your life is the, you know, the I don't know, the example or something, right? It's your life, right? So if you don't like what men say, fine, show me otherwise, right? If you can't accept the things that men say, have a life that's different.
Just say it. Just say what men think is the only thing that matters. What men understand is the only thing that matters. You as a woman need to understand what I am saying and how I feel. And you need to learn how to communicate with us. You take what we give you, because that's what y'all just did. After I said what I said, that's what y'all did. You explained it away instead of being like, okay, I understand that. I can communicate that differently. No, y'all gonna still say what you want to say. That's why I was like, I mean, if you want to do that, do it. That's cool. I didn't need the explanation, if I'm being honest, if you were just going to do the things that you're going to do. But as a woman, I thought that it was fair that I communicate, hey.
Very coachable of her. Very coachable of her. So this is why I can't be in these kind of panels, right? Because I'm gonna say shit, right? I'm not like these other men. I'm sorry, I'm not. Very coachable of you. And this is probably why in your late, I think later in your 40s, you're still single. You're very coachable.
We see that as dehumanizing. We feel like someone that you can just pay money for when you say stuff like that. And then I just heard excuses and I didn't hear nothing. You know what? You're right. No. So that does communicate to me that
because you're wrong. You're wrong.
The only thing that matters is that women are here to learn and want. Doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't one up. Go be feminine. That's what I hear. Don't give a fuck about what we say. But that's all. That's it.
Just super chats right quick. The 100K per year plummet now look down on their character. What's this again? $2?
Of them and need it. What kind of words can I say on here?
I'm gonna slow you down because I'm trying to save you real quick. Give me a percentage, because when you say a lot, give me a percentage.
I would say they're about 70%.
How many?
About 70.
I say 80. You lost your fucking mind.
I say 80.
I'm gonna let you go first, Truth.
So let me get this right before we get into this. These are two beautiful black women, right? Hold on, because we're gonna get into this.
I hate people just being dishonest.
There are two beautiful black women in front of me that literally just said that 80% of black men are gay.
I'm not even saying all black. It's 80% of black.
Hold on. Stop. Let's be crystal clear. I said black men. Okay. She said 70. She said 70%. You said 80%. Is that your final answer?
85.
Wow, 85%. Cool.
I'm changing mine because I'm narrowing it to black men. I'm going to say 6.
You can't. No, you can't. You cannot. She cannot. No, we're not changing anything. She heard me just like you heard me. So anyway, let's get back to this. Y'all are sitting in front of me saying that there are more gay black men than straight black men. Is this what two black women are sitting on here saying tonight?
Yes. It's so sad.
One at a time. I'm going to start with Terry first because she was the first one to answer. Could you please tell me what supports your 75% of black men being gay theses, please?
I believe that at least 50% of them are.
I've said this before, right? Black women are the biggest hater of black men. At least online black women, right? Online black women are the biggest hater of black men. 100%. They are the biggest hater of black men. And then you're surprised that they have high baby mama rates, low marriage rates, right? You're surprised.
Outward. They out. So we can just look around. In most of the urban populated areas, we can just look around. Most of them don't hide it. They're out. The other 10 to 30%, what did I say, 70? So I'm like 50% are out and it's clear. The other 20% are the ones that us women have to really side eye, because a lot of these niggas is gay and they don't admit to being gay because they do gay acts and they say that's not gay. They say, oh, I was drunk and I just let him suck it. That's gay.
I've never in my 40 odd years on earth have ever heard a man say I was drunk and let a man suck my penis. But wow. So this is crazy. Okay, Kimberly, your turn. Can you tell me why you believe that 80% of Black men are gay?
I believe that 80% of Black men are gay because, again, where I am, I see
where you're at is 80% of Black men, 80% of the population of Black men, right? Again, I believe I forgot I think the population of Black men is about 50%. I mean, 50 million.
a lot. And I see that 80% in Chicago. I see it in
24 million Black men, right? 24 million Black men. So, in her opinion, there is about 15 million gay Black men.
I see it in places that I travel to often. And again, she's just like Terry said. Terry said that more than half is open. But with us, that I see, more than half is on the DL. But again, they live in a life with a wife, with kids, but they got their side man. They got their side nigga on the side. And a lot of that's going on. That they have a wife or they have a main girlfriend, but they still got that side guy on the side. And that's what they're doing. And I'm going to say 80% are gay or they being touched on by a man.
You know what? Yeah. All right. So there's a problem with that. I think we should all first know where this nonsense really originated or really gained a lot of traction. There was a bum in 2004 by the name of J.L. King, who wrote the book on the down low because he got caught by his wife with his legs in the air getting popped out by another man. Right? He wrote a book on it. She decided she was going to write a book to show you all the signs later on called On the Up and Up. And it instilled fear into Black women. It became viral even before we had the social media situation. So if you went on like Oprah and then you have a New York Times bestseller, that was the version of going viral. Down low, because the dude got caught and he didn't want to necessarily seem embarrassed. He decided that he was going to normalize it and tell people what normal behaviors that normal men who were straight, how they behave, to try to connect it, to put doubt in all men, to popularize it. So he wouldn't be the dude out here looking crazy because he was supposed to be a prominent figure in the community. And that's his problem. So now, ever since then, people have ran with it. Even if you project numbers, right, it's really like 3 to 5% that may be gay, right? If you try to go hard and you try to say that, oh, where there's a whole bunch of people in the download, it only gets up to close to 7%. There's no evidence whatsoever to substantiate that there are 70%, 80%. These numbers are radical. There's no evidence to support that. It's stupid to even believe that. If you believe that, I think you're stupid as hell. And you should probably read more. You probably should go outside. I don't even care if you live in San Francisco, Atlanta, or Collingswood if you're from Jersey. Even if you live in one of those cities and you think that it's 70 to 80%, you're stupid, because that is far from the truth. Far from the truth. And you shouldn't be disrespecting this like that, because it's not going down like that.
After they gave those percentages, that was ridiculous. I just would have cut it off right then and there, because y'all playing your ass. And then she sat up there and said 50% are out and like the side end. So I did read the book that you're talking about, Trev. Like it was maybe like 2008 or 9 or something like that. But he did. It didn't necessarily scare me. Because y'all know if you know, you know. Well,
you smarter than that, Pearl.
Yeah, if you know, you know. But he did highlight some behaviors. And he gave some situations in there.
Is that the logic? Probably is. All the women that rejected me are probably lesbian.
For people to pay attention to his guys, and they on that little too long, they're gay. It's like, what? He was doing a little too much. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, he was over. Yeah, that I'm kind of dead on that video. Like I said, that was nonsensical. I wouldn't entertain that. I don't have no say.
Correct. Correct.
Who?
You're not
You
a
said me?
man nor a gay man, correct? Yes, ma'am.
No, I'm a gay woman.
Right. So but you're not a gay man. You're not a gay man. And so for you to make that statement, right? For you to make that statement that a majority or a large number of these men are DL gay men, how would you even know because they're not hitting on you by any structure? They're not hitting on you because they like ass, correct? So when we
How
say
would
numbers,
I know?
yes.
How would I know? Because we're out here. We see it. We can see how they're living. We can
So
see
you
that.
can
We
see
know
a
the guys
so,
are. The
sweetheart,
You would have to be seeing millions upon millions of men every day, right? Millions. Like literally, right? There's 24 million black men. You would have to at least see 15 million men. Women don't even see a couple thousand.
hold on one second. Because we gotta land a plane for a second.
I think she's sitting,
and I'll bring her
I think she's just sitting in her car. I think.
back. A DL man is a man that hides the fact, right, that he likes ass. That's what a down low man is. This is a man that is extremely good at playing straight. Like she said, this is probably a man that's married. This is probably a man with children. He probably has a macho job like a fireman. Like this man has spent his whole life trying to convince the world that he is not into ass. So you can't even spot a DL man because this is going to be a man that goes out of his way to be extremely straight. Like the DL man tricks you because you like, ain't no way, big ass Brian from up the block. Ain't no way. He got a wife, he got a kids, he can fight, he kill. Brian's no way he's gay, right? But now we got to
some wives are accepting it, knowing that they're.
Listen, hold on, sweetheart, so hold up. But 1 second, this is my show. We can sing together. We can't talk together. 1 second. There are 48. Hold on 1 second. Hold up. There are 48 million African American men in the United States of America. Let me give you this number one more time, y'all. There are 48 million African American men.
That's not really true. I don't know what he's talking about. I mean, like, I use ChatGPT, so I don't know what he's using. Okay. The total population of black Americans is about 50 million. I'm assuming he's using the total population. So I don't know.
In the United States of America, and you two black beautiful women are going to sit in front of a black man and say that 80%. You know what? Maybe y'all have the gaydar. I don't have it. Maybe y'all know more than what I know. 80 is a very, very, very large number. And I think that narrative being pushed by black women is very disheartening. And I think that it grinds my gears.
I can guarantee you. Well, one is a lesbian. She said it. And the other one is probably old and single. No surprise there.
That are women of color that deal with straight men, right? I feel like women go out of their way to make everything that a black man does that they don't agree with to be some form of homosexuality. And I think that we are really doing black men a major disservice. And not you ladies, but it's starting to seem as if.
Why not you? They literally are the ones who said that 80% of black men are gay. This is why I can't deal with a lot of these things, right?
Black women hate black men. How do y'all feel about that?
No, I don't think that black women hate black men. I think a lot of black women hate themselves because black men, women, they do have to step their game up. Rest women hate black men. I think it's just the way that they get called to the round table by black men, because black men are the ones that when they come out, they're looking good, and black themselves much if they let a black man outdo them in everything.
Is it my turn?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Respectfully, I disagree with you, and I'm old and I can't see because I can't see your name, but I don't know in what town have I ever seen black men showing up better than the black women. So I don't agree with that. I love me some black men, have never crossed the line, love black men. I think that a lot of black women are sick of these niggas. I think that they're sick of building a man. I think they're sick of a lot of things that Black men have put them through. I don't want Black women to give up on our Black men, though. I really don't, because there's so many amazing Black men. And the 30% that are still straight, they are so amazing. Yeah. And I love Black men. And I'm cheering for Black men to like make a comeback with these ladies and let's have a happy medium and call a truce, because a lot of these women are just angry from being mistreated by Black men.
I think they're intelligent to even say that 80% of Black men are gay is crazy. Now, I think that is much more than we think, you know, who are on the DL. I think it's definitely more than we think. 80% is like mind-boggling that they would even say that at their age. Some people just not good with numbers, like to that degree.
Extremely emotional, and then I'll say something logical. That was the stupidest shit I have ever heard in sassy or gay. I don't do that. Like, I don't agree with it. It is disgusting. It's like Mont said, it's low intelligence. Those Black men that you think are gay for not liking you, that is a you thing. That is not.
It is weird, but here's the thing, right? I think this is maybe controversial, right? I think the alphabet community, right? Gay, lesbian, bi, trans, whatever. Those are people who have embraced their debauchery, embrace their ability to not control their urges, right? To just be in full lust mode, in my opinion, right? In my opinion, okay? So
them thing. They don't like your ass. Type of woman. I don't know which one it is, but it's one of the other. That is low intelligence. You have no more words than that. And y'all know I called that shit out a couple of shows ago. Cause baby, let me tell y'all, call Willie gay again. Cause y'all like saying that about them because y'all don't agree with them.
But I like been saying that shit all night. And it's crazy.
I saw it. Big Boss Bonita. Let me tell you something.
That Big Back Bonita can call everybody gay because they don't want to fuck with a big ass. Ain't nobody worried about that dumbass girl. Like, I don't even know why you acknowledge that bitch. She won't even put a super chat in. Stop responding to free shit.
Actual like conversation. Saying 80% of Black men are DL is crazy. Who are LGBTQ. Single digit percentage. There's a very small double digit percentage of people in general that are a part of that community. But men specifically, there are not that many of them. They wouldn't be DL. They would just be bisexual or gay. It's stupid to sin. No, they just don't like you. They're traumatized. Yo, it's illogical. It's improbable. It just doesn't happen. And from a woman who is a lesbian saying that, you're a part of that community. You can literally go to the clubs around the country, like a plethora if you marry men there. I've seen some. I've seen a couple of them got wives and girlfriends. However, it's not that many of them. And most of them are out and proud. It's just, I don't like when women do that. Don't do that to men because you don't like when they do that to your ass. They call you hyenas. They call you fat. They call you all of these things that you may or may not be. But you don't like it. So why would you do that to them?
It's crazy because this is the only time I know that big bitch not to be eaten is when she's typing in the comments.
Okay. Hey, Truth. Let me tap in real quick. Truth.
Go ahead, brother.
Real quick, man. Yeah, y'all ladies, y'all know y'all on some bullshit, right? Y'all really on some bullshit.
What?
In all honesty, I mean, respect what you're saying, but y'all playing around. The fact that 70-80%, nah, man. Really? But at the same token, in the way I understand why y'all said that, y'all really only saying that because these are also, y'all the type of women that the moment y'all can't get your way or get what y'all want, y'all instantly label them as gay. So let's be honest here, because every single time y'all can't get what y'all want, the very first thing y'all say is something is wrong with that man, and y'all always lead to the gay thing. So I can somewhat see where that number is coming from. Let's get that out of the way. But also 70 to 80%. So we talking about what? Damn near 1 out of every 2 men that go past you see them as gay? No, that mean y'all son, some of y'all sons, your brothers, and all of them. So one out of them is gay too, huh? Oh, don't get quiet when the facts get thrown around.
No, I don't disagree with what you just said.
So, hey, Mel, I don't even want to. So, and no disrespect, what we heard was like a level of delusion. There is no way that 70% of Black men in America are gay, right? But that's how you ladies feel. I gotta let y'all believe what your belief is. I'm sorry that y'all feel that way. That 80% or 70% of Black men in America is gay. I don't know if y'all are on social media too much. I don't know if you live like in a gay environment or neighborhood, and so maybe that's what's like close and and let me say this, right? There's nothing wrong with being gay. Like if you're gay, be gay. Like do your thing. I have no issues with that, right? But to say that high number when there are so many, and then this is okay. I got a better question, right? We can shift gear. Who's the blame, right? Because I won't even say gay, because I think in order for you to be gay, you have to actually suck a penis, put a penis in your backside, or be aroused with penis, right?
Correct.
Who's the blame for this batch of feminine men, not gay? Who's the blame for this batch of feminine men? Who would be the blame for that?
I'm going to say thank you for clarifying what you just said, Truth, because that matters. When I say 70%, I don't mean 70% of men have had penis, and you know what I mean? But I believe that 70% of men have homosexual tendencies and wish they could be. So that's what I mean. That makes up that 70%. And
okay, so we would have to stop you, right? Because that's a dope point. So when I said gay, that would only mean to have intercourse or sexual actions with a man. Now you're saying that it's not 70% because you didn't necessarily mean that they took pipe in their rear end.
Correct.
You're saying that these men may have homosexual tendencies. So could you please give me some characteristics of what homosexual tendencies are?
Or just like you said, feminine. There are a lot of feminine men.
But tell me,
homosexual tendencies. Man.
I'm writing them down.
I feel like a man who has a lot of outwardly gay friends. I believe that he is one of the men that I'm talking about. Right?
How many men? Like I don't really know many men that really hangs out with gay men like that.
No 100% straight man is going to vacation with gay men and go to parties with a gay man.
Give me some more. Give me some more. That's like give me some more.
Half of one.
Half of one. It is also, in my opinion, men who are very touchy-feely with other men. Like I come from an era where men dap each other up. You might, like give a little church hug like that. Hug. It's too much of that. I have an issue. That's homosexual tendencies from where I'm from.
Okay, give me some more, because I feel like you're like so surface level.
I am.
Like, yeah, give me some more. Like taking a straight man taking a trip with all gay men. I've never seen that, but of course we would all assume that would be awkward. But like, give me some more, because you see 70% of this. So it's like you would have to have a gang of because like when I say I think that 80% of women are gay, I can give you 1,000 reasons why I believe that. So when you say or have homosexual or lesbian tendencies, I can give you 1,000 reasons to support that. So you gave me 2 and they were kind of shaky. Could you give me some more homosexual?
Maybe I am shallow, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't give men enough credit for. Maybe I'm.
Well, you're old and bitter, right? This is the thing where you are the example. When I say as women age, they become bigger red flags. As women age, they become bigger red flags. Why? I love it, right? I love that this woman is talking, right? Because women show you, as women age, they become bigger red flags because of the trauma, self-induced trauma. All the men you chose, all the men that broke your heart, all the men that cheated on you, all the men that lied to you, right? All of this shit, all the men that fucked you and left you, pump and dumped you, right? All these men that maybe hit you, abused you, right? All these men that has dealt with you and dealt with you in a bad way has made you a terrible person in the dating market, right? Has made you a terrible woman in the dating market. This is why she looks like she's in her 50s to 60s, right? And she definitely is single. So no wonder you are still single at your age. You're just unfit. You're unfit to be with anyone.
I'm seeing something now. Maybe I'm too harsh.
Where are you saying you're seeing this at for this number to be so high then? Because if you're seeing it at this high number, it sounds like it's BS, but this is to be fair. Where are you seeing this at for this to be such a high number? That means 1 out of every 3. So that means you're seeing it a lot. So you got to give something.
Right. I'm seeing it a lot. I'm seeing it a lot in large urban areas. Like I live in the Washington, D.C. to the Miami area. I travel a lot up north to New York. So I'm just really men anymore. They're carrying purses. They're getting their nails polished. It's just shit that men that from my generation just don't do.
I'm pretty well traveled, right?
Somebody just called on her bullshit and made her explain it. All you gotta do is let those type of women talk long enough and then punch one hole in their logic, and then they'll backtrack faster than Michael Jackson. That's all that happened. She went from all niggas is gay, there's 87% of niggas gay, to now I think that the majority of them got homosexual tendencies. And she didn't want to answer the question about who's raising those men because she would have to say me, her, women like us. But it's, and then two, again, they like to, we gotta stop asking, Bo, plug your ears, 'cause I'm not talking about you when I say this, or anybody, Bo adjacent. We gotta stop talking to these old hoes, bro. Like, we just gotta.
I would say you're talking to her too. She literally proved, right? She literally proved. I'm not saying that she agreed with the woman, right? But the delusion is there.
Stop talking to them about the majority of everything outside of perimenopause and their fucking life experiences. Because when you ask them their opinions on shit, like, of course, women who are 45, 46 years old by themselves, they're just going to project all the things that they've struggled with in men on all men and then come on these platforms and say that. So that woman, what we should have been asking is, why are y'all so close to all these gay niggas? Like, what type of men have you been around for this to be your experience? And then more importantly, which one of y'all has been cheated on by a dude with another dude? Because all the shit that you're talking about right now, you know what that tells me? If you keep getting cheated on by men and the man is cheating on you with another nigga, that means your pussy and you were trash. And that's the conversation they don't want to have.
The old women versus don't talk to dumb women. Because,
okay, yeah, don't talk to the old dumb hoes. There you go.
Because I think that, you know, there's some women that age that got their shit together, they sophisticated, they're sourcing more reasonable women. I think that's the major issue.
Yeah, I'll take it back. You're right.
We're running into.
I'll walk it back. So don't talk to the old dumb single hoes. There you go.
I think that internally reflect on the reason why you're in the situation. And I think once that happens, you start to externally project onto everyone else the issue that you're experiencing. Like, it's like saying that there are no dateable women, there are no dateable men in the world. They're there. They just aren't attracted for whatever reason to you, or you're repelling them, even if they are attracted. And that's a harder lesson to accept and deal with than then to just say, well, they just don't like women because they see me and they haven't come up to me. So obviously they just don't like women because I'm a woman. When you're not using the correct bait, you're not exactly what they're searching for. It doesn't mean they don't want women. They don't want your specific brand of whatever it is that you're selling or putting out there. I think the DL Whisperer, and it's like 2 or 3 other people who like specialize. Well, I believe it's 2 or 3 other people. It might be more, it might be less, who specialize in pulling people out the closet or something like that. And that like rise in that type of content, along with I think it was a 2016 poll or a fake news source that said 80% of black men are gay, and it got debunked multiple times. And they explained where they got that data from. But propaganda works. Once it's out there, and it becomes a something that you got to combat and fight down every single time.
I think that's it. That's what's up. What's your question? What's your question, Evo Eddie? I'm down to listen to your question. It's just a chill Sunday, you know. We'll talk. We'll chill. Nothing too crazy. What's your question, my brother? Guys, I love ya. All right, you guys are amazing. Thank you for all the love. Music by Evo Eddie. A new fun song, right? If you like old school poppy kind of song. Sounds like a 80s, 90s pop song. Can a woman actually be like a lesbian? Here's my controversial opinion, right? Yeah, I feel that the 80s kind of grew to it. This is my I said this a little bit before, right? I think being gay, being lesbian, being trans, all this stuff is a mental illness. I won't be straight up. This is this is probably controversial, right? Being part of the alphabet community is a mental illness. Or mental instability, or something. It's something is abnormal with you, which is being abnormal is fine, right? Being different is fine. I mean, being normal is you don't have to be. But the thing is that you are abnormal, and you're abnormal in a way that you can't control yourself, right? You are suffering from degeneracy. You are suffering from debauchery, right? I love sex, right? I love sex. I really do. Like, I love sex. But there's a point where you love sex too much and you can't get it enough. Let's say for gay men, right? You can't get it enough with the women that you want. So you're gonna get it with men. It's easy access, right? I think that is a mental instability that you could be attracted to men, right? Because in my opinion, I find men ugly. Right? I think men are ugly. I can never understand why women be attracted to men. That's why I do understand the resources, right? Looks wise, yeah, there are some rare men, but in general, men are just nothing special, right? In my opinion, I guess I find the beauty in salt. But for women, it's like, if you like beauty, it's weird, right? I find it weird that you like beauty. I find it weird because, I don't know. For women, there should be more, right? In my opinion. But it's just opinion. I don't necessarily, there's no study or no nothing to back it up. I don't have anything to back it up. So it's just an opinion, right? I'm not saying that it's a true opinion. It's just an opinion. So I don't have anything to back it up, right? I'm just slowly gathering. I definitely believe, right? I definitely believe 100% alphabet community is mental instability. That's what I do believe, right? There's something wrong with you mentally. You weren't born it. Or maybe you were born with some mental instability. So that's how I see it. It's just opinion, right? And again, like I said, I'm not saying being abnormal is a terrible thing, right? It's just, you're not normal. Right? That's just plain and simple. Just like, I don't know, like people who were goths. You're different. So what? It's not the worst thing to be different. But let's be honest, you are different. You're not part of the norm. And it's okay to be different. So, but Ashley, are you saying L as in an L take? I mean, it could be, right? Like I said, I mean, it's just an opinion. I like certain things, I'm not basing it on any kind of factual shit, right? Did Whiskey ask a question? I did. Whiskey is like, I love ya, but it's like, you lived a crazy ass life. You lived a crazy ass life. It's all good, right? Guys, I love you, right? You guys are amazing. I find it very weird that men were attracted to me. I got called many times. I mean, I maybe you were a good-looking younger man, right? And this is the thing where I think the type that would cross the line to be, part of the alphabet community, they have some inhibitors that have been taken away, right? Where you have nothing is stopping you, right? So your level of debauchery is just full force. That's it. But guys, I love you, right? You guys are amazing. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for checking out the live. Please check out my other videos. Please check out my shorts, like that famous African guy who I don't know. Guys, I love you. Laughing Man, Evil Eddie, Whiskey, Big Bars, Red Door. I love you, my sister. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Jeremiah was here. I love you. Thank you for stopping by. You guys are amazing. Right? Thank you for all the love. Thank you.